I secretly paid my girlfriend's debts, and I've never seen her this furious before.
I don't know why she's mad. I just sold all her designer stuff and her car and paid off her debts.
Recently, I'm having a big fallout with my girlfriend of 4 years, and I don't understand why she's angry. I have this amazing girlfriend, we'll call Amy. She's the best girl you'll ever meet. She's kind, understanding, and makes the best omelet in the world.
Yeah, right.
By the way, this comes from Jacked Guarantee 34, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. But if you guys have anything you want to say, put it down in the comments below. And OP says, she's very poor though, and always has been. She was raised by a single mother, and they struggled all of her childhood. I came from the opposite type of lifestyle. I know I'm very privileged, but me and her have been friends for years after a chance meeting. She's always been a great girlfriend, and we don't argue often, but when we do, it's about money. Not as you would think. She probably has a very different perspective of money than you do.
Yeah, well, she's probably like, that's my debt, I'll pay my debt. You don't pay my debt, I'll pay my debt.
But a Lannister always pays their debts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't like when I spend money on her, and I can't understand it. I would gift her nice jewelry, and she's always seemed to dislike it. Me being love-struck, upgraded, and I bought her a new car.
Dang, that's where we started with?
Jewelry to car? I gotta talk to Angie. I haven't even got jewelry yet.
I'll buy you diamonds, buy you
I do,
bills.
I think there's a little too much being done.
Yeah?
If you're just starting your relationship and buying someone a car,
Well, they've been together for 4 years.
I'd be upset. At that point, at 4 years,
New car at 4 years, you'd be
new
upset?
car at 4 years?
Nah, that's too much. I feel like that, cool, but if my partner bought something like that for me, I don't know how I would do, repay them back or get a gift back.
You'd feel in debt to them?
Yeah, exactly.
I have some thoughts, but I want to see what else this guy's going to do. We got into a huge argument at that time, and she told me she didn't want me to waste money on her. Keyword, waste money on her. She'd rather me spend that type of money on something important, but she is important, and I want to spoil her. I learned that she appreciated things more if they were directly given to her. If I brought myself a necklace and didn't like it, she would accept it. So I started buying her things, pretending they were for me, but I didn't want them. She would accept, and things were going good. That is such an interesting thing. I feel like her getting gifts is tied to her self-value.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably got to do with being brought up in an environment where it's like you don't really get
extravagant
have money
gifts.
to spare.
Yeah.
I feel like she's not used to getting extravagant gifts. So one, it's just like something she's not used to, but
Yeah.
also maybe it was like getting gifts, you had to earn it kind of thing growing up, or I don't know. It's just a weird thing. She's not used to it, especially for OP, where OP was like, this is what I'm used to. So
Brehave, this could be a pride thing.
yeah, 100%.
That's a good point.
I believe it could be.
I want to propose soon, but she wants to pay off all her debts first so we can have a clean slate to start on. I've known this since the beginning. She works hard to pay them. She doesn't pay rent or any utilities in my house. I don't even let her if she tries. Last week, with the help of her mother, I paid off her student loans.
Oh.
Okay, I'm guessing this is anywhere from 10 grand, maybe 30.
Could be. Well, I wouldn't know.
I thought it would be a nice gift to her considering it was her birthday, but once everyone left, she blew up on me like never before. I've never seen her so angry. She told me I crossed the line, that she was working hard to pay it off and that I ruined that. And I was a knucklehead for involving her mom in my schemes. What she really said that stuck with me was, you can't understand why I'm angry because you've never had to struggle and you've never felt the pride of finally doing something yourself.
Hey, Missy, ain't pride a sin.
Oh, dude.
Brehave was on it. It was a pride thing. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Get over it.
I mean, yes, but also she has communicated on her end of things. I can kind of see where she's coming from too, where she said, stop doing that.
Yeah, I want to feel this accomplishment. And to him, it's like, oh, money. I have enough money to throw at my problems.
Because
Bro, I would just be like, fine, then you can pay me back.
But I feel like for her, it was like her life goal, or one of her main goals right now in her life, where she's like, I'm striving to accomplish this. And you did it for her. Like you cheated on a test, and she doesn't get the satisfaction of I did this. I wanted to do this on my own.
guess what? You got more stuff you can do now instead of
Like what?
like
What could you do?
scrape together as
Well,
much money as you can to pay off your student loan debts that have interest.
I want to know what people think if OP's the a-hole in this scenario or if girlfriend is just the a-hole.
You want a
So
poll?
OP a-hole, GF a-hole. I
You
would
want-
like to know what people think here.
I can do a poll.
Thank you. And even then, I didn't understand. She ended up leaving, and she's at her mom's house. I can't understand why I'm losing her. I can pay the debt, but I don't want to lose her. I just want her to live in comfort. And I want to marry her. Now that a few days have passed, I'm getting anxious, and I'm starting to feel like a real knucklehead for invading her privacy. Our whole house is decorated to her taste, and it smells like her, but she's not here. Each time I realize that, feel more and more stupid. I've never felt like such a knucklehead before, even if I don't think I did anything wrong. So, am I the a-hole for paying off my girlfriend's debt without consulting her?
No,
I think it's like
You don't think so?
no.
I
Okay.
think it's hard because this is like one of probably like the most generous things you can do, and you love someone, and obviously for you, OP, your love language is gift giving. 1000%. That's your love language.
What's your favorite video game that you've ever played before?
Dark Soul.
Yeah, great analogy.
So let's say you told yourself, I am not going to go on a trip to Bali that I've been really looking forward to forever until I beat Dark Souls. And then your girlfriend comes around and is like, oh, I've beat it before. I know how to do it. Boom, 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 beats it.
Okay.
And you don't get to have the experience of any of that.
I see what you're saying, but that's a very false equivalency.
Well,
So I'm going to play a video game instead of go to Bali. That's already insane. And then look, we're talking
Okay,
about
well,
we're
he's not-
talking
okay,
about
thanks,
debt. This
I-
would be
I was
more
trying
like
to, I was trying to get something to relate with
maybe
you at,
maybe
but
something in
seems
like the realm of like
working.
your job. You get a promotion and somebody gets you a promotion for you or something, right? But it's like we're talking about something that is a net negative. It's debt. It's not like he was like, oh yeah, I wrote the rest of your novel for you, or like he's like, I paid off the debt that you owed. Now you are free to do whatever you want. You can make a more, you can aspire to a different goal
Yeah.
that doesn't just involve paying off money that you owe to somebody.
I don't
Because
know.
guess what? If we're getting married, it's my debt too anyway.
As
So
someone,
it would be paid off regardless.
as someone who loves gift giving as well, but if your partner or even your friend, whoever, was like, stop gift giving me things that are really extravagant, it makes me uncomfortable.
Nah, here's where the root of this is coming from. This is what I would say. I don't think she's ready to get married. And now the thing that she
Yeah.
said was there that I need to take care of that before we get married. Now it's gone. So now she has no other reason to be like, I don't want to get married other than just being like, I'm just not ready yet. And so I think she's more upset about that. She probably
again,
feels like he was trying to corner her into being like, well, now we're ready, right?
I just feel, again, if someone did that for me, paid my student loans, yes, I would be like, I thank you so much, you're amazing. Like, but then after that, I'd be like, I owe this person
so much.
so much.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're gonna use
Yeah.
it against me.
And she's had a conversation with OP about this before. Doesn't really seem to listen after the new car thing.
Yeah, but that's not like a gift. This is just like the gift of you don't have to pay an institution anymore.
Which is great. I think it's great because there's.
Well, I
like,
don't think you understand.
It's hard.
He got a gift from her earlier about the car. She's like, I don't feel comfortable with this. And he didn't
Yeah.
listen to her. He's not.
It looks like
the
a
thing
car.
Well, the thing is like he's not really listening to her. And thus that like doesn't build trust.
I don't know. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like
Comments.
I just disagree.
I feel like this is going to be like a really big conversation of like, why do you not? Why are I know it's a pride thing, but like, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, kind of thing. And I thought this was a great gesture. I don't know. This is rough.
Okay, love, I understand you want to give the world as you know it to your girlfriend and that your girlfriend wanted to accomplish this goal before getting married. You doing this without talking to her comes off as manipulating her into your world without her consent. At the same time, hyperindependence is a trauma response of always having to work hard for everything in your life and not trusting anyone to help you. Interesting. And most importantly, it's from learning the hard way and deeply believing that nothing comes for free. She will feel like it's pity or charity or she owes you now. That's why she might struggle with you doing nice things for her. The answer is apologize and tell her that you want to understand and then truly listen and genuinely be curious about her reasoning. Then tell her that giving her things make you feel happy and it's how you like to show your care for her. Ask her if there are some things she can simply let you do for her. Stop pretending things are for you And do not lie. That will only break the trust she's slowly building. No a-holes here. Wishing you both the best. We have a little edit to add. I like that. I like that breakdown.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a horrifically scary take in the comments from Awesome Ashley. It says, hot take. She doesn't want anything from him because she's using him for somewhere to live and plans to leave him as soon as she doesn't need him anymore, but never planned to stay.
Oh boy.
Ah, scary. Scary. Ah.
I could see that. It's like an evil villain.
Well, yeah, it's like, because honestly, hey, you're going to pay off all my debt. I'm going to be like, thank you so much. But I'm not going to let you ever come be like, well, I paid off all your debt. I'll be like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Did you like it? I thought you said you liked doing that. That is not my fault.
We have an update 5 days later. I'm going to skip that edit. It really didn't add anything. Do they break up?
No.
No?
No. But I feel like this would be a pretty, like, I think coming from her end, she's like, if you do something like that again behind my back or like keep buying me extravagant gifts, I can't do this anymore because you're not respecting what I want.
Yeah, my perspective, my trust.
Yeah.
Think they break up? I think they do.
It really is coin flip.
Yeah.
Could go either way.
Really? Yeah. But you got to pick one.
I think they stay together.
I think they break up and then they get back together and then they break up again.
Okay, so they break up. Update 5 days later. Hey Reddit, read your post responses and wanted to clear up some things before the update. I'm a woman and I saw a lot of people refer to me as a he, but me and my girlfriend are both women. Yo!
Oh, it's two ladies.
All right.
It's two ladies in love.
I refer to it as my house because it is. Not because I hold it over her head. It was a gift from my parents, so I only pay the property tax, utilities, and if there's anything that needs upkeep. It's not a huge mega mansion either. It's a simple 5-bedroom house in a nice neighborhood.
It's a 5-bedroom house, dude.
Not a mansion. My parents have a mansion.
That's
I don't
actually
have one.
insane, dog. It sounds like you guys are from polar opposite like backgrounds, dude. For you to call a
the Prince on the
house.
Pauper or something like that. Yeah.
To me,
crazy.
It makes no sense to take money from her for something that I can cover without her. A lot of people called me manipulative for gifting her things and in a shady way to avoid her saying no. Well, I get it. I don't really think that's manipulative.
Is it manipulative to put the dog's medication in a spoonful of peanut butter?
Yeah.
But does the dog need the medicine?
Yeah.
I do that too sometimes. If like someone's like, oh, I like that. I really want it, but I'll just be like, oh, you can have, I never wear it. I never use that anymore. That's all you, man. I do that so many times.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, man.
Well, it just happens. Yeah, it's only 5 bedrooms.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I never saw it in that way. I'm used to expressing my love with material items, so honestly, I get a bit sad when she won't accept them. That's just your love language. That's okay. You essentially just bought your girlfriend. Nah, there's love there. When I read this, I almost immediately replied to deny it because I wouldn't do something like that, but I took a step back to think. I, of course, don't see it like that. She's my girlfriend, and I wanted to help her, but I can see why it seems like that. A lot of people also said I didn't respect her for doing this and that I did it for myself.
I mean, I think
I didn't get that vibe.
It's kind of both.
You wanted to get married to her.
Yeah, I think that's the hearing like, oh, well, until I pay this debt off, we can't get married. And then you're like, well, then I'll just pay off all your debt and then we can get married. Mm-hmm. It does feel a little like, well, you kind of did this for both of us. But
I love and respect my girlfriend more than anything. She's the love of my life. She's literally perfection and she deserves to be loved like it. I've never disrespected her intentionally and she's the most important person in my life, even more than myself. Saw a couple of comments saying I should leave her if she's unappreciative or that I should start charging her, but I feel like that goes back into the I bought her argument. If I suddenly decide to start charging her because I feel like she's ungrateful, I don't feel this way. Just making a point. It makes it seem like I did this to own her. That's a good point. I don't really see that vibe. I think you love your girlfriend, OP.
Yeah, I would agree. It doesn't feel like you're just trying to just be like, look at all these things I can give you. Give. Be mine. Be my property.
Yeah, like Citizen Kane.
Yeah, you're paying off her debt. You bought her a car and she's like, don't ever do that. You're like, okay, fine. I'll pay off all your loans.
No, I'd be like,
And it's like,
here's 2 cars.
I didn't buy you anything.
You didn't say not to buy you 2 cars.
I bought the opposite of a thing. I bought you the lack of a thing, which is debt. No
Boom.
debt.
I can't even deny that. Even though I did those things for her, it made me happy inside. The first time I gifted her anything, she lit up so quickly, and it was the moment I knew I wanted to marry her. I like seeing her in nice things that she can call her own. Your responses have made me realize I did it because I like seeing her like that, whether or not she wants it or not. Someone said, wealthy people love giving gifts. That couldn't be more true. Dude, she just flexed it on us.
I don't even know if that really is true.
Yeah, wealthy people like giving gifts.
I think some
On my
might.
list.
I think the general stereotype is that they're, greedy and they hoard all of their wealth.
Yeah.
But, I think you gotta reach like the big dog status to get up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like
You gotta have like 80 billion to your name and be like,
Oof.
what are you
on?
even doing?
I'd buy a country at that point.
That is a moral failing.
Yeah.
You have more than $1 billion. What are you doing?
I'd probably buy like Chad and then just make it like a superpower country and then just get after it. Education, that's going to be like the next generation of
You would
lawyers. coming in.
turbocharge Chad.
Oh yeah, we would go insane to the moon.
First order of business, we're renaming the country to Chadley.
Chadley, and then make it look like Wakanda,
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're building.
vibranium and all.
Usually it's a power play to show you're better than someone, but for me, I just want to see her happy. Also, I didn't know the debt being paid off by herself was a major goal of hers. She never mentioned it to me, just said she didn't want to bring baggage into our marriage. A few people said we weren't compatible or that she just was looking for an excuse not to marry me. I would be sad if she didn't want to marry me, but I'd accept it. I truly love her more than anything, and I know she's a soft-hearted person, so I'll admit I started wondering if this was the case and if she just didn't have the heart to tell me, which is an interesting point because we're not even halfway through this story.
Muy
I feel like that's going to come back. A lot of people asked if she left me right now after I paid it off, would I want her to pay me back? The answer is no. I've never expected her to pay me back for anything, even if we split up. I've never been overly emotional, so not even in anger would I tell her she had to pay me back. Would I beg her not to leave? Absolutely. I don't financially her. I saw this as a bit, or not in the way Google describes it at least. She has a job, and of course, living in my home is above her means, but if she were to move into a smaller town, she'd be okay on her own. Basically, if she did leave me, she wouldn't be screwed, so I don't think she's financially dependent on me, which that's good. Seems like your girlfriend's a hard worker too.
Yeah.
And Sean says, OP's a simp. I agree. I'm also a little worried with how OP is describing your girlfriend, because if you get to the point of putting someone as an idol and she's first and you don't put yourself first, eventually you're going to lose yourself and your girl.
Wise wisdoms.
I've been there.
Wise wisdom.
I've had to rebrand myself.
Never put the pretty lady on a pedestal.
Yeah.
She might fall.
I don't just throw money around either. It's not like I get a hole in the wall and suddenly I'll just buy a brand new house. I just have a friend come and fix it. Don't even hire a company. I won't pretend I'm super frugal though. When my girlfriend moved in, she showed me a lot of ways I wasted money. Leaving the lights on, having more food than we could eat, small things like that. Up into always getting the newest phone model even though my old one is fine. Or buying something I like even if I have no use for it, like cars.
How much money do you have? Stop buying cars if you don't need them or want them.
I think she's a very wealthy millionaire.
Buy other things that aren't cars, Jay Leno.
When she moved in, she helped me settle these habits that I never even thought about. A few people tried their chances in my messages. Not happening. I love my girlfriend. I accept that I love her more than she loves me. I'm fine with that, I suppose. I'm also not a complete love-struck fool. It's not like if we break up, I'll support her and spoil her. I'd respect her wishes. For the people saying I should date in my social circle, I'm not against that. All my exes have been from the same life as me. Like I said, me and her met as a chance encounter and hit it off. It's not like I go seeking out poor, vulnerable people to bring home with me, but I don't think that just because she's not wealthy, I shouldn't be able not date her. I was essentially raised by my nanny, a normal person in terms of cash, so I've never looked down on people with less. They're just people, and If I like someone, I should be able to like them no matter where they're from, which makes sense. And the reason why I involved her mother is because parents have access to her student loans. I didn't involve her mother for her to convince Amy to accept it. I'm sure you can guess I went to college scot-free, so I don't know the process of paying off a loan.
Flex.
Google.
That's a big flex.
Like,
I get it, OP. This is your life, but I like how it's like this is the norm. This is for me. And you're just like 5-bedroom house. I don't know what a loan is.
yeah, drive a car. Someone usually drives that for me. I just buy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have too many.
I usually see something and I say, I want that. And I get it.
There you go, Ariana.
You can pay my debts though.
Yeah, she thinks.
You
Just
can do that.
It's
It's like,
It would be nice. But technically, I did live in a 6-bedroom house, a nice neighborhood for a little bit.
Again, it's like the two different mindsets, like the two different worlds. Like I get it, OP. It's hard because I think the same what she said to you is like you'll never understand like what it's like to work like that towards something. I guess.
Yeah. I work. My parents would never just let me do nothing with my life. Granted, I'm spoiled. I'm the youngest and the only daughter. And though they weren't often around, when they were, they would give me their attention. On to the update. Okay, so
that sounded very.
Opie's got a lot of money then.
Opie's got
baby
like
sister.
a clan.
Was she like only and the only daughter?
Yeah.
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 Youngest and only daughter. Oh man, I like how she's like I was humbled, but I was also spoiled.
No, I didn't hear any humble at all.
Yeah, it was like
because of the nanny thing. Okay.
yeah.
Yikes.
Yes, I had one of the peasantry raise me. So as you see, I'm in touch with the common man.
I can speak their lingo.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude. On to the update. It definitely wasn't what I expected. She came back the day after I made my post so we could sit down and talk. I took her suggestions and wrote her a letter explaining my thoughts and why I thought she'd appreciate the debt being paid off. She read it, but she kind of skimmed it, which was my first sign I completely lost her. I called it. Dakota kind of called it, but I called it.
Dang.
I read every last comment, and at this moment, it felt like everyone was whispering, "Told you so," in my ear. She set some strong ground rules. She wanted me to get therapy because she believes my need to give her things is because of how I was raised.
Well, you'll need therapy because your belief in not taking the things I want to give you is from how you were raised. Next question.
I think everyone should go to therapy.
Stop throwing therapy at me. Boing flip, I'll throw it right back at you.
My parents weren't bad by any means, but they worked hard, so to show their love, they gave me a lot of gifts when they couldn't be there, but they never missed birthdays or holidays. She also wants absolutely no gift giving.
Boo.
Didn't I call this? I was like, yeah, they're gonna set some rules here, and if not,
no gift giving?
That's OP's love language. But you know what? You can love your partner and you can discover a new love language.
I think you could give gifts if you made it. Like you put time into it.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I made you this solid gold statue.
Exactly.
You have to mine the gold in that aspect.
I bought the gold and I forged it.
With the help of my friend.
In Helm's Deep.
I asked her about her birthday and holidays, and she said that after something like this, she wouldn't accept anything. She said that me spending that much money on her was ridiculous, and the fact that I just could was also ridiculous. At this point, I asked her if she understood that when we get married, my assets would become hers. She wouldn't just be marrying a wealthy woman, she'd become one herself too. I asked her if she was uncomfortable knowing that, but she didn't really answer. She just kind of brushed past it and said it wouldn't be like that because we'd still have separate finances.
Bro, she's obsessed with this, and I think that is a trauma response. She's obsessed with that idea of like it has to be me. It has to come from me. It has to be mine, or none of it means anything.
Having that chip on her shoulder.
But you're staring the end result of what you want to get out of all of your hard work right in your face. It's staring at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, money doesn't solve all your problems, but it opens a lot of doors
Mm-hmm.
for you to have opportunities to do things that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise because you would be too concerned with making more money to pay for your bills and your debts.
Like buying Chad.
Like buying the nation of Chad, renaming it to Chadley.
You know what I'm getting after that?
What?
Madagascar.
It's a good island. All the vanilla used to come from Madagascar, I think.
Still does. They're just secret. They're just sleepers. You don't want to even get into that. So I asked her something that probably wasn't very smart because I saw a lot of comments about her hyper independence. I asked her if she enjoyed struggling and then accomplishing her goals. If that somehow paying off a debt was more fun or something. You know how entitled you sound saying it like that?
No, I mean like it.
No, it
that's
sounds
coming
entitled.
from like it's coming from like a genuine place of curiosity, though. It's
I don't
like,
know.
It's like, do you enjoy the struggle? Like, does the struggle make it more of like a accomplishment when you've done something because there was a struggle involved?
Do you really like just struggling, and paying off your stuff with the little money you get? You really like that?
But no, it's the same thing as like a gym. It's like you have to struggle in the gym to like get results.
Yeah.
And it's like if there was no struggle, you wouldn't really get any results. So I think it's more just coming. I think it is coming from a genuine place of curiosity of like, why wouldn't you want me to pay all your debts off?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is the struggle of something that you enjoy?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's the same, that gym mentality in a sense. Like, you pay for a gym membership and then you just have somebody do it for you. Like, they get big and swole and you're just like, all right.
Dang, that was no fun. She answered honestly and said she struggled all her life and it's a part of the process. That she watched her mom struggle and yet she still managed to raise her into a strong woman and they were never on the streets. I suggested that she should look into therapy too because it sounds like she's trapped in the mentality where if she doesn't struggle, she didn't do enough. She refused and said she was fine and I just wouldn't understand. Perhaps I got voted the a-hole. I didn't argue.
I don't like that response.
I don't like that response. I feel like everyone here needs some therapy.
Yeah, I don't like that response of like, you don't understand and you'll never understand, but I don't need therapy. So move on from that notion. But you need therapy. It's like,
Yeah. Don't call out the speckle in your brother's eye when you have a log in it.
Bella actually says, if someone paid off my debts behind my back, I'd go no contact.
Dang.
Is there a reason why, Bella? I know you said you didn't like gifts earlier, but like, is it just like for OP's partner? Is it a pride thing? Is it because you want to work towards that goal, like because that's your debts, or you feel like maybe they'll have it like hanging over your head, or like they'll use it against you? Let us know.
Yeah, I just figured it was another thing I didn't understand, so that was the end of that. She made a few more demands that aren't really important, but then she said that she didn't even want to think about marriage for a few more years.
There it is. There it is.
Oh.
There it is.
We've been together for 4 years and lived together for 2 of them. I'm 25, she's 27. Yes, still pretty young, but I've always saw myself getting married by 30 at the latest. Then this sparked a deep conversation, and I asked her if she wanted to marry me at all because it felt like she didn't. It took a while, but she admitted some private things I won't say here, but ultimately she doesn't want to get married because she says that's more or less the start of all problems, that she doesn't want to be contract bound to anyone. I was hurt by this and blindsided, honestly, because marriage has always been my goal, and she knew this. When I made that point, she said paying off her debt had been her goal, and I ruined that, so I should accept it as a way to make things even between us. Y'all need to go to a counselor together.
Nah, I think y'all should just break up at this point.
Honestly. Oh my gosh.
I don't think y'all are built for each other.
No, she's holding this against you after doing something nice.
I don't think you're built. I don't think you're built for each other.
Oh my god.
She doesn't want to marry. She didn't want to get married.
Yeah.
She's like, once I pay off my debts, because she knows it's going to be like, years from now. And then at that point, maybe there'll be some other reason why you can't get married. But he literally said it. She's like, I don't ever want to get married. I don't want to have to be contract bound to somebody.
Yeah.
Which is like, she just didn't want to marry you.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried explaining I didn't know it was that important to her, yet she knew how much I cared about marriage, but nothing I said seemed to be right. She kept combating everything I said. By the end of the conversation, I didn't feel better like I thought I would. The next day, I had my lawyer draft up a contract that just basically says I don't want anything in exchange for paying her debt, and I won't try and force her to pay me back. I gave it to her and told her that we should end things because we didn't have the same goal in life. And she kind of blew up on me more. I've said it before, but she's the sweetest girl you'll ever meet, so I was definitely surprised by this. By the way, if you want to see some sweet stories, go to your favorite podcast platform. On what platforms to go to?
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
And look up what sweet words?
Okay, story time.
Got them there. We have a little bit more left here. She's mad about breaking up. What does this woman want?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't think she knows either.
Yeah?
I'll tell you what she doesn't want: your gifts and therapy.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't want therapy.
And now she's
would
mad
help
y'all
so
are
much.
breaking up. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. She literally is like, yeah, I don't ever want to get married. And you're like, well, that you know that's what I've wanted to do the whole time, right? Like,
Yeah.
we talked about that.
Yeah.
And now she's mad at you for breaking up after she wasted 4 years with you because she always knew she didn't want to get married. That's crazy.
And here, Bella does respond to our question. It's because in the past I've had stuff like that used against me, almost like they now own me. In the sense of what, again, is somewhat a lot of people were saying to OP. But that being said, it's also something I like to work towards. So again, it's that thing. I think it's that mentality of like, that's my goal.
Yeah, Cassandra says she knows everything can be taken away and commitment feels like something that can be taken away. This woman needs therapy. Yeah, I agreed. I think everyone would benefit from this.
Yeah.
Reading the last little bit here. Dumping her just because she won't marry me essentially after I made a mistake wasn't right and that I was being selfish. She still loved me and we didn't need a wedding to prove that. I simply told her I disagreed and left. I'm at my parents' house right now. I just kind of sat with my mom for a while. I didn't cry, but she knew something was up. She let me sit there in her presence in pure silence, and it felt pretty good. So yeah, not exactly what I expected to come from this conversation, especially not just 3 days since my post. Here we are. Keon.
Riley, I can check.
Please. Oh my gosh.
Is there more?
There has to be. She has to call her back.
I think that was
Amy,
the move,
call her back.
dude. I think you break up
Oh.
and you find someone. I mean, you know, it's definitely nice knowing that someone's not with you just because of your financial assets. But like, this person was like holding them against you. And it's like, you just wanted to be like, yeah, I don't know. I want to be able to. And it's, again, all of this, it just came back down to not wanting to get married.
Yeah.
You know, not wanting to be wed. And yeah, that's that. That's that. And if that's your, you know, I need that. And she's like, I can't do that. But also it's kind of crazy to be like, that is the root of all problems in a relationship.
Oh, yeah,
marriage. And just like the contract of it is, it's like, that's insane.
That is kind of crazy.
You can have terrible relationships with nothing close to marriage. So it doesn't make any sense.
I also think that Amy has a little bit of resentment towards OP for being so wealthy.
I don't even know if it's
I don't think she was
resentment
ready
towards her. I think it's more like,
I don't think she was ready for that lifestyle. I don't think she wanted that lifestyle. 1, 2, she saw that as like, I mean, she made the excuse of like, yeah, we can look at marriage until I do or finish off my loans. But I think it was a scapegoat, and then you finished off her loans. You completed that for her, and she was like, oh.
Everyone's saying that them parting ways was the best.
And unfortunately,
stop. Oh my
it.
God.
It looks like they don't get back together. There's no other conversation. It looks like that's it.
Literally the worst thing ever. This is gonna ruin my day. I have no idea what happened to these people. They live. They're real people.
They broke up. They broke up and they moved on.
Just Amy doesn't understand what she had.
I mean, I think she did.
I think she did. I think she was happy with what she had.
I think she was just kicking the can down the road, trying to, you know, avoid the marriage discussion. Yeah. And I'm sure, who knows, is the reason that her mother struggled in her life because she had a father who abandoned them. My money would be on that, or they had a really bad marriage. If you think that marriage is the root of all problems, then I guarantee you grew up in an environment with a bad marriage.
Yeah.
So Theraponius.
Please. That would literally, if they went to therapy for 6 months and Amy was open to it, so much.
She's both mad at you for doing this stuff and then mad at you for being like, all right, well, I'm going to stand on my values. I want to get married and you don't. And so I don't think this is going to work. She's mad like, well, that's not right. I just made a mistake. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, run it back here.
What do you want?
I think this is also an eye-opener for OP because, again, I feel like OP was love bombing a lot. Or like, again, that's what the gift giving, that's your love language. But maybe that blinded you.
Yeah.
And because like maybe she didn't feel that same way towards you. I mean, yeah, you were together for 4 years, but definitely shows that 1, she was not willing to get therapy for you.
Yeah.
She was very anti-therapy, and she wanted to stick in her own little mindset. I don't know.
Therapy can be scary.
Have you been?
But you gotta go if you're in that state of mind, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
therapy
And guess who'd pay for it?
Yeah, we know that. Sean says therapy for only one person automatically means break up. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when she wasn't willing to do it, and she said, "No, I don't need that, but you need it." He's like,
Yeah, I kind of knew it wasn't going to be good when she was like, she's the most perfect thing. She's great. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, ooh.
"Yeah,
You lost yourself there, OP.
maybe those omelets weren't as good."
There is a certain
Lost
meal
a
I
great
will never
omelet.
eat again.
Yeah, those omelets are always going to taste pretty crappy now. But you know what doesn't taste pretty crappy, Dakota?
No.
Next story.
I vented to my husband about my mother's secret because I'm tired of her rants.
Oh, just shut up, Mom.
Hello, people. I will try to keep this as short as I can. Data point 1. I am autistic, have an autistic husband, and we have a very honest relationship. I lied to him once, a very small, silly lie,
Uh-oh.
and now I arranged a date to formally apologize. This is to show how transparent we are. We simply can't lie to each other, call it a DNA level honesty. By the way, this comes from Scopia Disco, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia,
I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, data point 2. My biological dad left my mom and me when I was 2. Then my mom immigrated to the country we are established in now when I was 4. From age 4 to 9, before she permanently brought me here too, I was left without parents with my aunt in my homeland. Data point 3. My mom married a man here, a Prince Charming, when I was 6. I'm 27 now. So I've been calling this man Dad for 22 years. And I couldn't love him more even if he was my biological dad. Data point 4. After 17 years of an amazing marriage, my parents' relationship started to deteriorate. My mom brought up the topic of divorce several times, but they would always reconcile. Data point 5. I've been the one listening to my mom and dad's side all the time because both of them refuse to go to therapy when they need it.
Mm.
My dad is a bit better there, though. But my mom, I either listen to her or she'll not open up to anyone until she becomes physically ill.
Till it's like an actual problem.
Tough, man. That's rough. To not your parent can't go to anyone but their child.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
So yes, whether I like it or not, I am always the shoulder she cries on because as an immigrant, she never could connect to people here on an emotional level and has no friends. My mom is 55. My dad is 60. Data point 6. My mom and dad run a not very successful business together and live in a rental house. So last year, when she started talking about divorce again, I told my husband about it. Because due to our situation, me running a household and a startup that's being born now with no income, him being the breadwinner, I thought he should be mentally prepared to help my mom with me post-divorce. Because she wanted to move closer to us and would stay at our place until she found something good for her, whether to rent or buy.
Oh, no. No.
Never a good start to a Reddit story.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, not looking good for you, OP.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Or your
Definitely
husband.
not.
My mom had no issues with my husband knowing this secret. Data point 7, I call this divorce thing a secret because she always prohibits us from saying a word to my dad. Data point 8, fast forward to last week. After the last update that she felt happy in the marriage again, she told me she 100% decided on divorce and that she would do it in 9 months after paying the last bank debt, closing the business, and moved out. Does your dad know?
I don't think so.
That's crazy. She's telling you that she's divorcing your dad.
Yeah.
She has this timeline perfectly adjusted to her needs. This broke me because the last thing I knew was that they were happy again. And now I'm losing a dad for the second time in my life. Well, I'm sure you can still have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Data point 9. My mom is in the right here. My dad has completely forgotten what romance and love are. And my mom is super mega unhappy. So even if it hurts, I support the split. Data point 10. I told my husband about this new deadline for several reasons. First, I feel like crap being around my dad because my whole heart tells me that he should know about his own upcoming divorce. Yeah.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. That's why I stopped going to my parents' place, and my dad can't understand why. You need to tell your mom. You better tell him or I will, because this is so unfair.
Yeah, like
So unfair.
it's unfair for everyone in this situation.
Everyone involved.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Terrible. Second, I feel like my mom is being unfair. She is crafting a perfect timeline for herself while my dad is in the dark. And this feeling of unfairness is eating me from the inside, and I need to vent to someone. Third, my therapist is useless here because she tells me I shouldn't be my mom's therapist and should simply redirect her when she opens the conversation, but I can't do it. So funny. Your therapist is giving you good advice, and you're like, she's telling me I shouldn't be my mom's freaking emotional bag?
Yeah.
Huh?
Ew.
What? What kind of advice is
Let's
that?
go over here.
I know how impulsive and emotional she is, and she needs someone to open up to. Fourth, whenever she does it, my husband will also be the one supporting, and he has all the rights to know. Fifth, when my mood is crap, internally mourning my parents' marriage, my husband has the right to know what's unaliving me. So basically, after my mom learned that I told my husband about this new exact deadline, which I told her as an FYI, because I didn't even think it was a big deal since my husband already knew about the potential divorce since we got married last year, she hung up on me yelling, saying she'll never tell me anything anymore.
Interesting.
Now I feel like a complete a-hole, as if I have betrayed my mom. But like as a child, yes, I'm 27, but I'm still their child. I'm also suffering, and I also need to vent to someone. Again, I think it's important to realize, even though you feel like you have this responsibility, that your mom is putting too much of an emotional burden on you, and this is an unfair reaction for her to have.
Yeah.
So I told my mom that I didn't say anything before, but she was draining me with all these divorce happiness, final divorce cycle conversations. And I wasn't obeying my therapist and leaving her unattended, but I also need help and a shoulder to cry on, and that's my husband. She left me on red. We have always been so close, best friends. There never was this mother-daughter hierarchy. We had complete trust, and now I feel like I just destroyed it all. I kind of think I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I think there should be a little bit there should be a little bit of a hierarchy.
Yeah, you messed it all up.
You destroyed it.
Whoopsie daisies. It's all your fault.
But you know what won't be your fault? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. I know that my dad will still be my dad. What I'm mourning is the family I'm losing. My mom has always been a hero. She went through heck and back to raise me before my stepdad, aka dad, appeared. She endured so much in her life. Dad, first husband, 2 wars, immigration first years, and crappy jobs. She's not perfect, nobody is, but she's my hero. That's why I take all that burden off her chest whenever I can. But apparently we reached the point where this dynamic is breached as she no longer trusts me. I'm a crappy kiddo. You're not. You're not.
You're good, dude.
It doesn't mean your mom's a bad person or even necessarily like the worst mom.
Yeah.
This means that she doesn't quite know how to put up those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe has never had an outlet. And unfortunately, you got the brunt of that.
Yeah.
You obviously can still love her and still think of her as your hero.
Exactly.
But also understanding that this isn't your fault.
It's like a lot of the conversation is about like her feelings and the dad's feelings and stuff, but you have to understand that you are a very you hold space in this story too, you know, like your feelings are to be considered. So the fact that like you're in the story, you have a unique situation and role in this, and that comes with its own emotions. So I think all of your actions are, just surrounding that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Not your fault.
What about you?
Agreed.
Amazing.
I refuse to talk to my sister ever again because she's too sensitive.
You can't handle it.
Growing up with my male 33 sister, female 35, was a wild ride of different phases for her. She seems to have settled into a sensitivity phase that began when she was 25. It doesn't seem to ease up or get worse, but it is still exhausting to listen to it every single time we converse. By the way, this comes from Guru of Stupid Tax. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, our father and I are very positive, hardworking, common sense driven people.
You tell him.
Oh, yeah. Grr. We like living on a factual basis and have a firm concept of the real world. So when we are met with negativity, we usually don't know what to say or how to act since it's not very common in our lives. When she was 25, our father started a business and brought me on, but didn't really have a place for her since she doesn't want to build cars or do the paperwork, like both our dad and I do. He pays me a realistic wage and I don't ask for more. If I left his shop, I'd certainly make the same or more, but I love being here. She thinks he pays for everything for me and thinks I have zero struggles. I finance everything because I can't pay cash for a lot, and I like having a car that doesn't break, updated living spaces, etc. So I can see why she thinks that. She had times when we would talk where she has financial issues, and I often tell her that I have financial trouble sometimes too, to relate and converse about the struggle.
Yeah, like I really wanted this fancy watch, but I couldn't buy it, so I was just sad for a week.
I feel like I'm sure he is in the right here, but it does feel like in this moment, I'm imagining her being like, I'm having a really tough time like affording my rent. I feel like I don't know if I can continue to live in that space. He's like, I'm having a really tough time too. I wanted to go get a new watch and I couldn't.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta listen to people's
some people
troubles. You
don't want to
need
hear.
to pitch in.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the problem Olympics.
She had times when we talk where she has financial issues, and I often tell her that I have financial trouble sometimes too, to relate and converse about the struggle. And she shrugs it off and thinks I'm lying. Okay, so I won't say a struggle then. She goes years without having a boyfriend and is crazy about her cat now. We can't bring up cats or even funny videos of people scaring cats because it offends her.
Whoa. That's just like having a cat.
Don't even tell me about that cat that you have. I don't want to hear it.
Don't even text me.
What are her thoughts on
my house? You can't talk about your cat anymore.
I wonder what her thoughts on Garfield is.
She's like, that is a gross stereotype of cats. My cat doesn't eat lasagna. Cats are lactose intolerant, you monster.
They are.
That's true. She can't take a joke anymore. Any joke, no matter how funny or dark. Just had a little girl a year ago, but when my wife was pregnant, I wanted to call my sister and tell her first, and let her know she was going to be an aunt. I was excited as it was ringing, my eyes watering. She was silent, unimpressed, and ghosted me for a couple of days. She's like, this isn't about my cat. I don't want to hear about it.
So you hate cats still because you're having a baby.
Oh, you're having a baby? Why not a cat?
A cat?
She never said a word about it for weeks. I find out from my dad that she's going in for surgery. So I called her up asking if she's okay, and she tells me she's getting her tubes tied. She's like, the reason I
had
went
such a flashback when you said a flash forward when you said that. Did it immediately.
She's like, thank you. I honestly, the only reason I went silent is because I totally forgot that I had an appointment. I had that scheduled.
That was scheduled well before you told me.
Totally forgot about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I guess I solidified her decision to not have kids.
Nice.
Jump to a couple of months ago, we're having our second girl, and I don't tell her. She finds out from family and is upset I didn't tell her. Well, I mean, she can't get her tubes tied twice.
Yeah. She had to have a different reaction for that one.
Yeah. If she gets her tubes untied, she's like, you know what? I'm ready now. I bought a house in 2022 with my wife's grandparents' help. A 3% down payment was the wedding gift. I just sold it earlier this year because we hated the area. Now we're back to renting for a bit in a way better area. She thinks all of this house stuff was paid for by our dad and doesn't believe we had help from my wife's family. This is the odd straw that broke the camel's back for me. I'm over it. My family is not political at all, but most of us have this want for more common sense in the country. So right now, maybe a little more conservative than not. She sends an article in our family group chat about the president's 50-year mortgage idea and says, I know you guys like Trump, but you can't tell me this is a good idea. So I then tell her it's an awful idea, but it's definitely a way in for people that have low approvals or low income that didn't have access to the housing market. People said the same with the 30-year mortgage idea. Mortgages should be paid off earlier than that, as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you'll pay $1 million for a $450,000. I don't care.
Just tell me I'll never own a house. Care. It's fine.
I literally don't care.
I feel like he's about to pitch like he's a real estate agent. Is that what's about to happen?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't fully trust this man.
I don't trust this man anymore.
Part of the problem is the unwillingness to hustle for what they want. Some people should rent for the rest of their lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if they want what other people have and they're not willing to work for it, then they're going to pay interest.
Okay, so I can see a lot of why your sister, who's struggling financially to pay rent, probably doesn't like you very much. Oh my
God, your sister's coming to you and saying, wow, I feel like I'm never going to be able to own a house. And you're telling her
you're not working hard enough. Dude.
Let me mansplain this for you real quick.
I don't like this guy at all.
So basically what you need to do is... That's what he
I tried to be like, it's not going to be stereotypical, it's not going to be stereotypical.
Yeah.
And then you were.
You were. It keeps going, guys.
Oh.
The only people paying interest are the ones that want what they can't afford due to their situation.
Okay. Buy me a house then, dude.
Dude, buy me a house.
Buy me a house.
Oh, Lord. Basically describing my financial situation and my lack of motivation without saying it's myself. Not to mention just the fact of accepting reality and how hard it is to buy a home if you're not making enough. Then she made it about her. Didn't you just make it about yourself?
You just made it all.
And I didn't expect this response at all. That's really easy to say when your dad owns a very successful business and you and your wife can make your own hours. Like I don't hustle? I work overtime as much as they'll allow every damn week and applying for a second job. I don't share my bills with a spouse and pay for everything myself, including school. My schooling wasn't paid for by my parents like our stepsisters was. That's pretty ignorant to generalize such a statement, and that actually hurts to hear from you.
And pop off with that response. That was so good.
The way that he tried to make that sound bad, and it didn't.
And it sounded so good.
By the way, I'm going to mention that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but yeah.
I am agreeing with Macers Racers. Honestly, it sounds like he was saying they can't say dark jokes about cats. I think he was sugarcoating what he's actually saying.
I think so. I think this is the type of guy who's like, we can't joke about this anymore. This world is too woke. Whoa. I think this is exactly the type of guy. And he and his dad are both like, we just like to make jokes.
She's just so sensitive. She's this
sensitive is such a dog whistle for I feel like people often use that when they're like, this person's too woke.
No, you're just
care
being
about
an a-hole to people and they're upset, rightfully.
Yeah, man. And I feel like, I wonder if the tubes tying thing was even about him, you know? Or if it was just a procedure that she was doing.
Oh my God,
because
dude.
To be clear, you can't just do that willy-nilly.
You need so much. I almost made a comment about, wow, how did she find a doctor to do that so quickly?
There's no way that she was able to do it that quickly. She probably has been talking to a doctor for at least a year, or a couple months. Because the doctor will say
they're gonna make your husband think, probably. Or does
yeah, it's not a spur of the moment thing because your doctors are really, really against usually tube tying. Anyway, there's more. This is coming from the girl that wasted $30K, never paid it, and destroyed my mother's credit in 2015 for a school she didn't even go to. I never got a dime for schooling because of her F-up, but I'm not a D-head, so I just never responded. She also chose an industry that doesn't really pay well if you don't have a bachelor's degree or above. No response from anyone in the group either. Now I finally get it. Walk on eggshells and just shut my mouth. If I can't, maybe I just shouldn't respond, just like the other family didn't.
Great idea.
Am I the a-hole? Comment one says, wild argument I won't comment on, but not the a-hole. You can contact for whatever reason, no matter how small. Yeah, OPs are allowed to do whatever he wants. If 100%. He doesn't like her or get along with her, then...
It probably would be best for both of you, to be honest.
I think you should do her the favor. You sound like you don't like her, so why even keep contact? Comment 2 says, I think it's totally reasonable to expect her not to correct your kids. Going no contact because of this one thing seems extreme to me. Are there other issues in the relationship or context you can share? I also suggest that if you don't want her to correct your kids, it is also best not to pressure her kid to share, especially if it causes her kid distress. I think that commenter... She
got her tubes tied.
I think that commenter read the wrong story.
I'm stressed that we somehow read the wrong story. She definitely doesn't have a kid, though.
She got her
Unless
tubes
she had a
tied.
kid before she got her tubes.
Maybe. It is easier to do it if you had one child. Riley, is there any information about that we can find? I just want to know if there's like an update that was missed or maybe something in the comments that they respond to about correcting kids.
Still very just on. I definitely think we haven't.
It's deleted.
Rough. Maybe there is an everyone sucks situation here.
For sure, could be.
But we don't have all of that information because it was deleted. So, rats.
My girlfriend has a secret account and I can't stand it any longer.
Let me see.
My male 26, girlfriend, female 24, B, and I have been together officially nearly 6 months now, dating a few months before that. She's great and it's been smooth sailing so far. We don't argue and we have a lot of fun. By the way, this comes from Insta Help Me. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
And we are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, so let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, she's very honest with me, or at least as far as I have always known she is. She tends to admit things because she'd rather I know up front than find out from someone else. They're never awful things, just small things about her past that I might have found out one day, might not. She says in her past she used to tell white lies and they'd end up biting her in the butt, so she's just upfront now, even with things I might not like to hear. She'll literally tell me if she ate a biscuit from my tin when I was in the shower because she doesn't want to lie. I don't care. It's a bloody biscuit, but it's cute. The other day, I noticed her getting a lot of notifications on her phone from Instagram. I made a joke about her being popular, and she saw her phone and locked it and put it face down. She didn't seem guilty, but she definitely hid the screen from me.
What is she hiding? What if she's just running like a secret fan fiction account?
Please.
Or like one of those like fan edits? It's like she's just been doing Josh Hutcherson edits this whole time. She's like, I'm ashamed of it.
So don't look.
Don't look.
I'm not popular. Josh Hutcherson is. She's not posted anything on Instagram in weeks. Sorry, I know that sounds insane to check. I also noticed she had Twitter notifications. She's mentioned before that she's never used Twitter. I even searched for her name and found nothing. The notifications started again today, and I tried to get a glimpse of the screen, but she flipped it again. I asked her why her phone was going off, and she just said, group chats. But I'm sure it was Instagram. Sometimes she hides her screen from me, but she says she's planning my birthday present, which is possible. I know she's planning something for it. I trust this girl, but this behavior is weird. Does anyone have experience here or any thoughts on what she's doing? I really don't think she'd cheat, but why have secret accounts?
I think you go to her and you say, hey, I trust you, and, I really love our relationship, but you hiding your phone has been making me a little insecure.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk about it. If it really is just like a birthday thing, honestly, I'd rather not have the surprise and have the peace of mind.
Yeah, have the reassurance that everything's cool with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Having like just a conversation about just like, hey, we're okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing's going on, right?
You're not posting any weird Josh Hutcherson fan edits, are you?
Please, that's totally turn off.
That's where I draw the line.
There is a top comment. I have a secret Twitter where I fight with people about politics. I don't use my personal account much, so I tell people I don't use Twitter much, but I go through spurts of intense political debate on my secret Twitter. And there's an update.
Everyone needs something, Everyone
I
needs
have my
something.
secret Twitter for political debates.
Political debates. Sometimes you just gotta release tension.
It's true. Update 3 days later. Sorry if I came off as jealous or possessive in the last post. I'm honestly not. I'm very relaxed in terms of jealousy, and I trust B. I don't think she would ever cheat. I just don't know why she would hide things from me. She's usually an open book at a free library where the doors don't even shut. Okay. Weird analogy. So we were watching TV last night, and she was tilting her phone away from me. She put it down and made a cup of tea, and within 10 minutes, it had flashed Instagram notifications about 50 times. I couldn't help it, and I said, B, who is messaging you so much? She sort of cringed and laughed, then made me promise not to make fun of her. She made this fake dramatic noise and said she'd been hiding this secret for too long now, and she knew I'd find out. She has a meme page.
I wasn't too far off.
She's got a meme page.
I wasn't so far off. That's pretty close to a fan edit account.
Why couldn't have she just said that?
Yeah,
though? Be
I've
like,
got
well,
my biggest shame.
listen.
A meme page.
For a baking show. Oh, she has a meme page for a baking show. It's oddly popular, and she makes these memes to amuse herself, and some people seem to like them a lot.
Is it Great British Bake Off?
So, yeah, no cheating. Just a weird secret that never needed to be a secret.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
obviously, I teased her a bit, but the memes are quite funny, so now I follow it.
Yay! Supporting your girlfriend. Love. Love.
But she's made me swear not to tell anyone it's her. Sorry for the drama, everyone. Problem resolved. Final comments. If it's no context Bake Off or Great British Bake Off reactions, please tell your girlfriend that I think she's hilarious. Either way, fantastic update.
Agree. I want to know if it's the Great British Bake Off show.
OP responds, it's not those, but it's similar. Bake Off reaction or something? I think it's quite small now, but...
Oh, it is Bake Off, but it's just, I think they were saying, is it like these accounts?
Yeah. But she said she doesn't care. It just makes her laugh. Thank you. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Another person says, absolutely, just went to find that page. If it's the one I found, it's funny. This is such a weird thing to have hidden, but a really good update. Haha. OP responds, she says thanks, and that she needs to think up some good biscuit puns for this week.
I love that. This is so cute.
Aggressive cleaning responds, is it the Great British Bake Off? If so, then she's completely sane. OP says, it is!
Dude, I freaking called it. He just said baking show. I said, is it the Great British Bake Off? Because, yeah.
Okay, we all love your girlfriend now.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
But
Well-
happy update.
Yeah, happy update. It
All's
was
well.
a problem, but it's really not a problem.
It's really not
Thought
a
it
problem.
was, but it's not.
She's just a memer.
Problem resolved. She
Yeah.
just likes memes.
My fiance's family secretly tested me for a year, so I called off the wedding.
What is this? The Illuminati?
I, 24 female, have been with my fiance, 27 male, for almost 4 years. He has a really well-paying job in tech, and I make pretty average money. We've always split things fair, and I've never asked him for expensive stuff or trips or anything. I honestly thought money was a non-issue for us. I never was interested in him for his money anyways. By the way, this comes from Pleasant Mission, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Angie,
I'm Sophia.
and we're here to give good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers, we just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we genuinely clicked so well, and I loved his personality. We are into the same nerdy things, and his family seemed to really like me. I never thought that I would have to worry about our relationship going south until now. A few days ago, my fiance sat me down and said that he had something that he wanted to tell me, but he was smiling like it was good news.
Oh my God, is he about to pull out the, you passed the test?
Yeah.
Yay!
Honestly, he basically told me that his family has been secretly testing me for the last 11 months to make sure I wasn't a gold digger. Oh, he said they were worried I only liked him for his income and wanted proof before we got married. The test was that they all made it seem like he was struggling financially and might lose his job. His mom would casually bring up layoffs. His dad talked about how unstable tech is. And slowly it turned into he might actually lose his job. And you guys might have to really downsize. At one point, his mom even told me that I should be prepared to financially help him if it came to that. I never wanted to bring up the possibility of a layoff for him because I didn't want to stress him out.
That's so funny.
This is crazy.
They're going up to OP and they're like, tech super, it's not a good business.
Everyone knows that tech is always firing people.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, what? Everyone knows that about tech? Okay.
Okay. I wanted to be prepared to support him if I needed, so I started budgeting more, saving money, cutting back on random spending, skipping stuff I wanted, and just generally trying to prepare for the worst. I constantly reassured my fiance, encouraged him, told him we'd be fine, that I didn't care about money, that I just wanted us. But this whole thing was fake.
Well, good news. Now you have a bunch of money saved.
There you go.
To leave him.
Now you can go on a vacation if you want to. His job was never in danger. His income never changed. There were no layoffs. His family literally planned this whole thing together. They kept it going for almost a year. Subtle comments made in passing to manipulate me and test me. Apparently, this all started because his older brother went through a really messy divorce. His brother now pays a ton in child support, and his ex-wife got a lot of money in the divorce, and his family fully blames her and thinks she was a gold digger. So now they're super paranoid about any woman who dates one of their sons. The thing is, I've actually met his brother's ex-wife before. She was dropping off the kids at a family night, and she seemed really nice and normal. I never once got any gold digger vibes from her, and honestly, it makes me uncomfortable how much they demonize her. My fiancé said his parents finally told him that I passed, and that they felt comfortable with him marrying me now. He said he wanted to tell me because he thought I'd be relieved to know he actually isn't struggling financially, and that it shows how much his family cares about protecting him.
He's like, babe, I lied to you this whole time. Aren't you
Yeah.
happy?
Aren't you happy?
You're welcome.
Yeah, because all of this storytelling is based on the parents lying, but OP's fiance would have had to lie too.
Well, he was absolutely okay with it. He was just
Yes.
waiting for the results.
Yeah, he was like, oh, good idea. I'll let you guys, like, thank you for doing that.
It's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So this isn't even like, I mean, it's insult to injury that his family was behind this too, but the main problem is that your fiance lied about this too.
Yeah, for a year.
Then he tells me that to celebrate, he upgraded our honeymoon to a nice luxury resort in Hawaii. I mentioned this resort when initially honeymoon planning, but deemed it too expensive, so settled for a more modest option. But I feel weird about it. I don't want to be rewarded for being manipulated really well. Like, good job, we tricked you and you were so gullible you believed it. Here's a nicer vacation. I told him I felt manipulated, embarrassed, and honestly humiliated that his whole family was watching my reactions and judging my character behind my back for almost a year. He said that I'm looking at it the wrong way and that I proved I'm not with him for his money and that this should make me feel more secure in our relationship. I'm sorry, what? This is supposed to make her feel more secure in the relationship?
There's also ways to actually monitor that and see if that person is right for you without doing a weird secret test.
You don't have to pretend to be poor to like see if someone's a gold digger or not.
Yeah, you could literally just see, does she have a job? Is she working in her own, right?
Yeah.
And some people don't even care about that. And they're like, they marry and one person is a stay-at-home mom or whatever, and that's fine. And that works, or a stay-at-home parent, and that's fine. That works for them. In this case, it seems like he wants someone who works independently and stuff. So if that's what he wanted, then that's what he should have communicated, or that's what he should have been looking out for rather than testing.
Yeah, exactly. Tests are never good, guys. Never, ever. I wish I could ask my family what they thought, but unfortunately, my mom passed away 2 years ago, and I don't have a relationship with my father. I'm feeling sad and lost because I don't have a reliable second option or opinion to lean on. His family had become my family. That's what makes this even harder. His family is acting like this is totally normal and that I should be proud of myself. His mom literally said most girls wouldn't have handled that so gracefully. I told him I need space and I'm seriously considering calling off the engagement, but I honestly don't know what to do. I love him and this is so out of left field. Now everyone is acting like I'm blowing this out of proportion and being dramatic. Part of me wonders if I am, but another part of me feels like my trust is completely broken. Am I overreacting? I'm not sure if tests like this are normal. I feel weird about it. I don't know. Please help. And we do have an edit, but what are your thoughts so far?
You're not overreacting. No, and you shouldn't marry this guy because if he listened to you, you said, I feel manipulated, I feel lied to, and then he said, you're right, oh my God, I totally understand your point of view, I'm so sorry. Maybe we could proceed, but he doesn't even want to acknowledge that what he did was wrong.
Because tests in general, they just add such a weird power dynamic to the relationship. Because now it's like, okay, well, what him and his family have been thinking and their values and whatever are like the most important thing. And you are the small one that has to prove yourself to this person. Even though you're already engaged, I thought that was proof enough that you guys were meant to be together.
He didn't have to propose to you.
Yeah.
If he didn't think that you were trustworthy and he still wasn't sure, he didn't have to propose.
Exactly.
Could have waited until he was sure. And yeah, he's acting like he's the prize and you have to work for him. That's not what a relationship is.
You're the prize.
You are the prize, OP.
There is an edit here. A couple of people are asking why he didn't just ask for a prenup. We actually did discuss this before we got engaged, and I told him that I would be open to a prenup. I brought this up when he confessed, and he said that he wasn't necessarily worried about divorce. The whole thing was about testing my character and making sure I was a, quote, morally good person before he married me. It doesn't make much sense to me, and feels like this whole family went way out of their way to do some stupid morality test. I've never even given the indication that I'm shallow, so it really hurts. I just think they are suspicious of any outsiders who come into their family. Also, I misspoke when I said the Hawaii resort was all-inclusive. I guess I've used that word interchangeably for describing a really nice resort. And there are some comments. Aglio Vegilio says, plus typically the groom's family pays for the honeymoon, so I didn't know that they were offended by that. This is a thing in 2026? Has that ever been the case? Regardless, much like bride's family pays for the wedding, it's no longer the case for much of society. Opie says, I guess you're right. My fiance and I have been putting aside money to pay for the wedding ourselves. My family isn't in the picture, so we never expected financial help from that end. Maybe it's outdated for me to make that assumption. I now feel embarrassed about that comment. I still don't think it justifies the testing, though. And there is an update here, too. Update. Thank you all for your comments. It means a lot to have so much support and validation. I knew right away, deep down, that this was wrong, but I needed validation, as bad as that sounds. I don't have close family or many friends, so hearing that my feelings are normal makes me feel less alone. This happened a couple of days ago. I'm still staying with my fiance right now, but things are tense, and I feel anxious pretty much all the time. He knows I'm upset and knows I need space, so he hasn't tried to talk about it since. He knows I'm considering calling off the engagement, which is why I think he's been so sensitive around me the last few days. He hasn't been acting like it's a positive thing anymore and seems pretty remorseful since I told him how much it hurt me. This morning, I asked him if he knew about it the whole time, and he told me that his parents started making the comments without his knowledge, and after he overheard a comment they made to me while over at his parents' house, he asked them privately why they said that, and they explained that they were testing me. He decided to let them continue just to see what I would do. From past interactions with his parents, I also know that he has a hard time standing up to them or disagreeing with them, so it honestly makes sense that he didn't call them out and just started going along with it. They told him that they were offended when I suggested an expensive resort for the honeymoon and made a comment insinuating that his parents would be paying for it. They got it in their head that I just expected them to shoulder the costs of an expensive resort without question, which isn't true. I happily accepted for a more modest option when they suggested it because I don't want to seem pushy or entitled. Plus, typically the groom's family pays for the honeymoon, so I didn't know that they were offended by that. Okay, so I think that comment was a little bit out of place that we read earlier. Maybe I really did come off as entitled, but that honestly never was my intention. Regardless, I don't think that justifies testing me like this. He wasn't the mastermind, but he never stopped them and didn't see why it was wrong or manipulative until I told him how upset I was. A part of me wonders if he was manipulated by his parents to think that this was acceptable. I'm torn between calling it off or having a conversation with him and asking him to go to couples counseling, plus set serious boundaries with his parents.
You could do that, but you would also need to postpone the wedding, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Because you don't want to go into a wedding when you're on shaky ground.
No. This is like a new boss that you need to fight right now. And you really...
Yeah,
I think
the level has been reset.
Yeah, it has. You know? I think that's a good way to go about this. Just postpone the wedding. You can stay engaged maybe if you want to, but just postpone it until further notice and definitely go to counseling. I think it's possible that you can salvage this relationship.
If he passes the test.
Yeah, exactly. I also see some suggestions recommending that I talk to his brother's ex-wife. I think that's a really good idea, but I'm honestly really nervous about it. I don't have her number, but I follow her on Instagram, so I'm considering DMing her and asking to call her. I'm pretty overwhelmed with the attention this post is getting, but I'm super appreciative of everyone's support and love. I think I've realized I have a people-pleasing tendency and a need to keep peace, but I'm trying to force myself to break out of that. It's all just really scary and I feel really lonely. My natural inclination is to forgive and forget so that I can still have a family. I know that's not the best idea. I know change needs to happen. I'm still figuring out where to go from here. We do have a second update from 3 days later, but what are your thoughts on this so far?
I just feel like, proceed with caution. Postpone the wedding And counseling.
Yeah, totally. I think counseling, that's your first step. I don't really know what to do with the parents just yet.
Yeah.
That's going to be
probation.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to rebuild. But maybe in counseling you guys can figure out how to go about that. Because obviously, like, he's going to have a different opinion on his parents than you, even after all this. So that'll be something you need to figure out. But I believe that you can do this. If this truly came out of nowhere and there was, like, no other indication before and it truly was just, you know, fueled by his parents, I have faith that you guys can figure something out. But update 2, 3 days later. Well, my fiance found this post. Honestly, I feel pretty stupid for thinking that he wouldn't find it. I didn't expect this post to get as much attention as it did, so thank you all for that. But I was extremely detailed, which was kind of dumb. He saw the post and immediately clocked that I wrote it. He came to me yesterday with the post, and I was super afraid he would be angry, but he was actually very understanding. He said reading the comments was super eye-opening to him on just how messed up the situation was. He feels bad that he ever even tried to spin this in a positive light. We had a pretty deep conversation, and he came to realize that he has been manipulated very heavily by his parents and family. When his parents justify something, even if it's bad, his brain will immediately try to justify it too because differing opinions were not allowed in his household growing up. This whole situation has started the realization for him that he grew up in a manipulative and emotionally harmful household, but was never given space to realize it because they had an extreme us versus them mentality. So even when an extremely normal and well-intentioned person comes into the family, aka me and his brother's ex, they will do anything that they can to invalidate their character because they are uncomfortable with outsiders. I've learned a lot about myself through this situation as well. First of all, I'm emotionally vulnerable and need therapy bad. My need to belong has caused me to stay in situations that are unhealthy for me just because I'm so desperate for a family. I know it's bad and I know it will be hard, but I want to change. By the way, you can change by listening to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
And we do have a little bit more to the story, but
oh boy,
I'm happy with his response to this.
Me too.
That's great.
Yeah, no, it seems like he really understood what the issue was. I would want to go a little bit of low contact, set up some boundaries with the parents. I still think we should postpone the wedding.
I completely agree.
And I think he's got the money to do that.
It sounds like it. Yeah. Right. There is a little bit more to the story. With that being said, even though my fiance was very remorseful and apologetic, I told him that I want to call off our wedding and take a break from our relationship. Oh, wow. We both have issues we need to work on by ourselves before we consider joining in a marriage. I want to figure out who I am without someone to lean on, as painful as that might be, and he needs to seriously evaluate his relationship with his family and how they have affected him. Told him that if in the future we find ourselves emotionally healthy and the timing works out, maybe we can be together again. But for right now, that's not the case, so we need to go our separate ways. We still live together, and I don't exactly have anywhere to go, so my fiancé said he will move out and try to find other living arrangements. He will pay his portion of the lease until I find another roommate. And that is the end of that story.
Wow, okay.
This is not where I was expecting that going.
No, but I honestly think this is the best solution here.
Yeah, it sounds like, you know, you're keeping that door open, which is nice in this situation.
Yeah.
You know, you're actively looking to work on yourselves and just saying like, yeah, we gotta figure some things out before we get married.
And maybe we'll come back.
That's great. Yeah,
I agree.
I think that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you, OP. Good luck to you guys. I hope you do very well.
Me too.
My boyfriend mocked my fan fiction, then judged me for writing it.
Maybe you should put the pencil down.
I'm a writer, a serious writer who's had her first book published and a few poems that made their way to the local paper.
All right.
I make a living out of it. I also have a very secret blog where I publish fan fiction under a pseudonym.
Ooh.
By the way, this comes from BF making fun of me through. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. So, OP says, I know what you're thinking. Obsessed fangirl writing countless OCs, all of them in love with some alter ego of myself. No. I just really like exploring my favorite characters and the universes that they live in.
She's different.
When I'm reading a book, playing a game, watching a movie, I sometimes think, what if? And I write it out. It's been my secret for a long while now. Or it used to be. My boyfriend found my blog when I forgot to clear my history on my laptop.
Oh no.
Why is he looking through your history, first of all?
He's got to make sure you're good. He's got to make sure you're not looking at anything nefarious. Good on him.
Boo. I don't hide things from him, but clearing my history is a habit I picked up as a kid during my curious about corn phase. Cool. We had a family computer, and if I didn't clear the history, I'd get caught. He's been mocking me for it. I'm not fragile. I can take a joke when I know it's not malicious. But my boyfriend keeps laughing and making jokes about me being a Tumblr girl, about me wanting to be with those characters. It's gotten to the point where he's reading my fics just to nitpick and make fun of them.
Oh, he's actually into him now.
Yeah, now he's actually just interested and he's embarrassed about it. I talked to him. He dismissed me. I finally snapped yesterday when he came over while I was writing for the local paper. He said, writing your weird smut fan fiction, fangirl. He meant it as a joke. He laughed, but I was already so fed up that I told him to leave. He looked puzzled and said that he was kidding, but I punted him out anyway.
Yeah, someone that writes like this, I feel like you need your safety of affirmation.
Yeah.
And your confidence.
I mean,
with that skill. So if anyone dares to combat it, it's very sensitive. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing, I feel. And like, I don't mean that as an insult. I just mean that like if I did that, I would be so embarrassed. I would not want you to know at all. English isn't my native language. I started learning it when I was 9 because there was no one writing or reading fan fiction in my particular fandom in my native language. Through fan fiction, I discovered how much I love writing. I learned English, and it saved my life when I needed a job, but was inexperienced in most things. But I could speak and write English fluently, all thanks to writing fan fiction. Boom. You hear that, everyone? Fan fiction saves lives.
Yep.
It means a lot to me. I'm not hurt that most people think it's silly and make fun of fan fiction writers. I'm hurt because the boy I love is being horrible about it. And I'm this close to breaking up. I don't deserve to be mocked for something that I like, especially when I don't judge him for the stuff that he likes. He wants to come over, but he doesn't think that he's wrong and doesn't see how his behavior is hurting me. What do I do? I learned a long time ago not to be ashamed of doing something that brings me joy, especially when times are hard enough already. But it hurts so much that my boyfriend thinks that I'm a loser, and I'm starting to see him differently. And there is an edit. But before we get into that,
what's helped me a lot to understand adult things,
Mm-hmm.
these videos online when it's like explaining tax terms with cats.
Cute.
Or like monkeys. We'll use monkeys. It was like explaining explaining the IRS with monkeys. So this monkey got awesome. 10 bananas and then blah, 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 blah. You might need to like dumb it down where I'll understand it.
Yeah.
Using animals.
Yeah.
And figure it out in your own little way. You know how to write, and then he might get the gist of it.
This blew up in a way that I did not expect. I want to answer everyone, but first let me clear some things up. I don't think my boyfriend was snooping. I always clear my history out of habit, and this time I left it there. It most likely came up in the search bar since he said he just found it there. The problem isn't my sense of humor. When I first told him I wrote fanfics and came clean about it, I was laughing with him. Then the mockery started, and for the next few days, I was a crazed fangirl in his eyes. He wouldn't let it go. That's not lacking a sense of humor. That's someone I love being purposefully hurtful, even though I told him to knock it off. We're currently not talking. He thinks I'm being oversensitive. I'm here reading replies in Reddit and haven't let him come to my house yet. I won't until I figure out what to tell him. This is the first time I've seen my boyfriend act this way. I wouldn't be with him if he had been like this from the start. This is why I'm so shocked. I'm hurt. A joke or two? Fine. Straight up mean mockery? Nope. I don't know if he got jealous or if the content of the stories bothered him. I plan on finding out. There is a second edit. I'm meeting with him later today. We're going to talk. But again, I'm going to clear up any confusion. I did not punt him out completely out of nowhere. He wasn't confused about why I snapped. When he started teasing, it was okay the first couple of times. Then he started mocking me and reading the fanfics just to make fun of them. He had read parts back to me while laughing in a way that wasn't a joke or him treating me like one of the guys. But we do have an update. I want to start by clearing up some confusion.
Okay.
He and I have teased each other before.
I feel like we're clearing up a lot of confusion. Just get to it, OP.
There's a lot of confusion in the chat. I tease my best friend and she teases me back. Stupid, harmless teasing. I still have some of my earliest fics in English, and my grammar was awful. Really awful with sentences like, and he tried to think not about her. She throws that sentence back at me all the time, but it's always in good heart. Always in a, oh God, look at the crap you used to write and look at you now kind of way.
Stop explaining yourself and get to the point.
I don't think that's going to happen. This wasn't what happened with my boyfriend and me. He went out of his way to make me feel uncomfortable and hurt. This is why I posted for help. Someone I love was being cruel out of nowhere. So for the sake of this update, please keep in mind that I am in no way ashamed of writing fanfics and that my boyfriend's behavior was more than strange. It was cruel. He had never acted that way before. I met him the day after so we could talk. He was pissed because I punted him out. I was pissed because of his behavior. We went to my place, and I straight up asked why my fics bothered him so much.
Okay.
He kept saying that they didn't, that he was just having fun. I explained how he made me feel. He snorted. I told him that if he wasn't going to take this seriously, he could leave again and not come back.
Ooh.
After a while, in a brief argument about him being incredulous that I was so upset over nothing, he finally told me the real reason behind his actions.
Uh-oh.
Why did it take so much effort to get to this?
And so much explaining.
Okay, here's the real reason, all right? He doesn't feel comfortable with me writing spicy sleep scenes.
I thought it was because he was cheating.
Whoa, that would be crazy.
Yeah, it reminded him too much of him and the girl he's been with.
Whoa. He's like, how'd you know? How'd you know I said those things to her? This came out of nowhere. Even when this issue was discussed in the comments, I thought, nah, you would never have a problem with it. He's even praised the one in my book. Ha! Well, I asked him exactly that. Why did he praise the one in my book? Why did he encourage me to write more? He said he hadn't stopped to think about the consequences. What? When I wrote it in my book, he didn't know or see how many people enjoyed it. When he read the ones on my blog, he could see how many people reblogged them, the comments, everything. It bothered him because I was his girlfriend. Okay.
Oh.
So he's like, if you write these spicy scenes and then other people like them, it's like you're boinking with those other people.
You're essentially a OF creator.
That's so crazy though.
Right?
That is so not the same.
Or is it?
I would disagree.
I think he's onto something here.
I asked him what he meant by that, which is his opinion about him being uncomfortable. He said I was putting myself out there by writing this stuff. I held back the urge to snap and calmly asked him again what the heck he meant. He said he knew how guys think and that they were seeing how easy I was and that I'd soon be getting stalkers because, and I quote, I like spicy sleep like a sloot. Isn't that lovely?
Oh my gosh. The thing about an online stalker is you can hit the block button.
Yeah. Also, I'm under a fake name. This is not me. I'm talking about other people, fake characters.
Yeah. Yeah. You seem good, dude.
And that's just kind of a part of it. There are so many successful authors that write smut, and that's just like a normal thing that people read now.
Yeah. And there is a possibility of this coming true, but it's a stretch, man. Stretch. An insecure
Such a stretch. Absolutely. And he's calling you a sloot for saying you like spicy sleep. Well, you're my boyfriend. Do you want me to not like it? Like, what do you mean?
I swear you like it, but not like in a way where other people would like it, that you like it. You like
yeah,
it, you know?
It's so insane. He quickly tried to fix it. He said he didn't mean it like that. He meant that I write detailed and explicit scenes, and that might give people the wrong idea. I asked him if I give him the wrong idea when we have spicy sleep. He just shut up. I think he realized then how much of an idiot he was being because he started apologizing. I just ended it. I ended the relationship and changed my blog's URL. Okay, wow, break up. You broke up. Wow. He's been calling and calling, texting me nonstop that he's sorry, but I can't even look at him the same way. Even if I ever forgive him, just no. I like spicy sleep, so that makes me a sleut, but that's not a problem when I'm having spicy sleep with him. I'm just heartbroken over this because it came out of nowhere. Before we broke up, he said everything would be okay if I just never wrote about spicy sleep. Really? No, I like it.
How is she going to get bank if she can't do that?
Literally, that's what sells. That's what is on the market. You know what else is on the market? Us. Our full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
You can buy us.
You can buy it or have us for free.
I don't know. Okay, have a slice, everyone.
I like writing about spicy sleep. I like writing fics. It pays my bills, so screw that. But in his mind, if I just stopped writing kinky, spicy sleep scenes, he wouldn't feel insecure and wouldn't lash out like this.
Oh boy.
Which is so not gonna happen. I'm glad this side of him came out, though. Still, this is just so freaking sad.
Yeah, valid by him for feeling, insecure about it. But it's the way he went about it was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you can feel insecure about like anything in a relationship, but you have like 90% of that insecurity needs to be changed from yourself.
Boom.
Like you can't really change. You can't ask someone to change for you, and you can't wait for them to change for you.
Exactly.
So you should just leave.
A friend confessed a secret that might blow our friend group apart.
No, what's the secret? Spill, girl.
I, 27 female, have to give a bit of background on our friend group to illustrate the gravity of this situation. I'm in a friend group of about 8 people, which was essentially founded by these two guys, Mark, 28 male, and Jay, 29 male. Mark is single, but Jay has a fiancé, Allie, 36 female, that he's getting married to next summer. Nobody else is really relevant. By the way, this comes from Own Revolution 5113, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, Mark and Jay have been best friends for years. I think they're coming up on like 22. They were neighbors, went to the same schools, and got into the same college so they wouldn't have to be separated. They are actually platonic soulmates, to the point of finishing each other's sentences a lot of the time. They are the glue that holds this entire friend group together. When Jay and Allie first got together, Mark was a little weird about it, mostly due to the age gap, but he's come around a lot. They still don't get along perfectly, but he said he's happy for both of them and is going to be the best man at their wedding. Last week, Mark got a promotion, and Jay was out of town scouting out venues, so he invited me to get trashed with him. Near the end of the night, he was hammered and grabbed my arm and told me he had a secret that I couldn't tell any of our friends, 'cause nobody knows. He told me he was in love with Jay and had been for years. He went into great detail about how attractive he found him, how good he had been to him all his life, and then he got this really freaked out look on his face and said he didn't think he could sit there and smile while the love of his life married someone who can't even commit his birthday to memory, much less write a speech talking about how good the relationship is. He started getting teary-eyed and said the closer the wedding got, the worse he was feeling and how he really needed someone to be there for him, which I agreed to. I am really bad at keeping secrets. People don't tell me a lot of secrets because I tend to blab. I don't mean I just let stuff slip out a lot of the time. It's something I've gotten a lot better at, but still, I cannot tell this one. But it's been sitting on my chest like stones on Giles Corey. I didn't even know Mark was queer. I'm a bi woman myself, so I know how good some people can be at hiding it. And Allie is fine, honestly. She's nice and all, but I wouldn't call her and Jay a perfect match or anything. She doesn't tend to hang out with the group unless Jay is there, and I'd call her an acquaintance. I feel like all I can do is wait for some sort of blast wave, like I need to get into a bunker. I told Mark I'd be there for him, but he was so wasted, I don't think he even remembers telling me. I have no idea what to do here, if anything. We have some comments, but Wow.
I feel for OP, I can't keep a secret to save my life. I will tell people that aren't relevant to the situation though. Like I'll just be like, "Oh my god, that's juicy." And I'll like tell my friend like in New York or something or like people who
they'll never meet.
Yeah. Like that's my like I would never tell like the person.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, "Oh, by the way," you know, then I would be the one like starting crap or whatever, but like no, I have to like tell someone to get their like perspective on it. I'm such a person who needs like other perspective of people.
It's a good idea. I feel though you cannot tell anyone in your friend group.
Yeah, this will. Yeah, you're right. It'll end the friend group. It definitely will. It's that's so hard.
Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Sounds like a drunken confession that as long as he forgets it, then you should as well. It isn't like he confessed that he was going to crash the wedding or run away with Jay the day before the wedding. This is inner emotions that really you wouldn't know if Mark had not been so wasted. Why involve yourself at all unless you are asked? You have time to process the facts and be prepared to support leading up to the wedding day in case something big happens. But other than that, not your business and not your problem. OP responds, "That's what I'm worried about. Mark will do something stupid. I love him, but he's a little dramatic. If Jay finds out, then it could be really bad. And if Mark tries something at Jay's wedding, it could be really, really bad." Commenter 2 says, "Any chance Jay could be into Mark also? If not, I'd take Mark's secret to the grave with me." Opie says, "When you're friends that long, it's hard to tell, I'd say. If he is, he's spectacular at hiding it. When I first met them, I thought they were together." Commenter 3 says, "You say Jay is great at hiding possible romantic feelings for Mark, but then you say you thought they were together when you first met them. I'm confused." Opie says, "I mean, they were both always with each other. At the time they lived together. We met in college. They were roommates. I mean, for like the first hour or two of knowing them." Commenter 4 says, "Have you spoken to Mark about this and when he's been sober? Just ask him what he expects you to do with the information and go from there." Opie says, "I did, yesterday. At first, he tried to convince me he was just joking, but dropped it after a minute to beg me not to tell anyone. I'm starting to get worried about him." Commenter 5 says, "Do you think he told you because he knows you're crap at keeping secrets and he's hoping that you'll spill it?" Opie says, "God, I hope not. Outing people is a secret I can keep, fortunately." We have an update 4 days later.
Ugh, I don't know. If he did like be like, "Oh, I should tell her because I know like she'll spill," and then like I won't have to be the one to like say that. Like I don't have to confess it. I'll put it on someone else. That's crappy.
Yeah,
I really hope that's not what he's doing here.
I feel like it was just a drunken confession.
I feel like all in all, he's like, "Yeah, this has been on my mind for a while, and I'm just gonna say it out loud and let someone else hear it, and you know, don't say anything, but I'm just gonna get it off my chest."
Update 4 days later. I've been texting with Mark and he's been drinking more and making less sense. I had to come over to his place a few nights ago and keep him company. He was completely wasted and sobbing like a baby. He's found a therapist and scheduled an appointment, but it's still a ways out. I took the booze out of his apartment as per his request and stayed with him as he went to sleep. But while he was wasted, he dropped another bombshell on me. Apparently, a little over a year ago, Jay and Mark hooked up while once again wasted. Usually they don't have booze problems and they don't drink that often. They're just both bad drunks and tend to make really stupid decisions while plastered. Texting exes, getting into fights usually. A week later, Jay met Allie, and a month after that, they got together. He told me he was already head over heels for Jay at that point, and it really took a toll on him. They remained friends and never talked about it again, but it's been eating away at Mark ever since. I feel effing awful for the poor guy. But by the way, I don't feel awful for you guys because you guys can always listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Go Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. Wow. There is a good amount left, but wow.
That's actually exactly what I thought, so
I feel like at that point, with that information, it totally does open, like, him to either be able to go to Mark or, like, with the help of you even, go and just, like, get that closure from it. Like, I feel like you can be like, "Hey, dude, let's be real, like, before we get married, like, this is driving me nuts. Let's talk about it kind of thing. I'm sure there are other options. Like maybe that's just a stupid one, but like I don't think that's that far out now. Get therapy first though.
I think that like you even like if it's gonna make Mark feel better to get that off his chest, then yeah, like him and Jay should sit down, have a conversation about it. It doesn't have to be in front of a crowd or whatever. Like just just keep it between you two, however long it takes, whatever. Just like make sure everything's situated. It sucks that like you didn't talk about it after, and then the next day he like was seeing someone else, and it's like, oh, that opportunity has passed. Like he didn't even get it
quickly.
He gave no time at all to like really even like be like, oh, that's a thing.
Yikes.
Not at all.
I wonder if Mark remembers it as much as Jay does. If they were both like
Jay? Jay remembers it.
I wonder if Jay remembers it as much.
That's true, because she said that they do get really plastered.
They don't drink that often, and then they were just plastered.
I don't know. Like, I think you can talk it out, but also I wouldn't expect anything to change, though.
I did notice about a year ago that the dynamic got really weird for a few months, but I figured it was just due to Allie being thrown into the mix. This is so dang messy. Also, no, I wasn't going to tell anyone with stake in it. Stop treating me like a gossipy churchgoer desperate to ruin the lives of those around her. None of my friends have read it, so I will take the risk and that they'll see this. I'll update if anything else big happens. Bye! We have some relevant comments. OP responds to a downvoted commenter regarding the possibility of Jay hurting Mark and Allie and the relationship between Jay and Mark. OP should out Jay to Allie. Ay. OP says that's a weird conclusion to come to after seeing a tiny snapshot of a relationship through the eyes of another person. And we have bullet points. You're talking about one of my best friends like he's a manipulative monster. Knowing enough about Jay, he's probably struggling with it too. Mark isn't out. Jay isn't out. He may not even be queer. He may have just been experimenting and felt safe with Mark. Obviously, I haven't talked to Jay about it, but he's a genuinely good person, and I can't imagine he knows the depth of how Mark feels, since they mutually agree not to discuss it further, and he wouldn't be hurting him like this if he knew.
Wait, I didn't know that they, mutually agreed, oh, we'll never speak of this again.
Right. I just thought they didn't speak of it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was this is a one and done, don't say anything type of thing.
Then this is totally different now,
Yeah, that changes the story.
Yeah. Mark's made it clear he hasn't told Jay the extent of his feelings. I'm not going to blow up my friend's life. I will never out somebody, at least not on purpose. That is the end of that story.
My husband prioritized his job over us, and now our marriage is beyond repair.
No, sir. No.
Trigger warning for mention of mistreatment. I, female 35, have been married to my husband, male 37, for almost 15 years. We have 2 kids, aged 13 and 9. Without trying to sound braggy, we are very blessed. We are financially comfortable and provide a wonderful life for our kids and ourselves through our combined sacrifices and hard work. I am a stay-at-home mom and always have been. By the way, this comes from Smart or Gullible, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. It wasn't something I thought I wanted until I was pregnant with my first child. I realized my husband's job didn't allow for me to work and for us both to give the time and attention we wanted for our kids. So I gladly stayed home. I'm still happy with my choice and don't regret it at all. I love being with my kids and always being available for them, but the cost of my own independence and identity has been very dear, and I have to manage my mental health carefully because it's easy for me to fall into depression and anxiety struggles. I live and love in my to-do list. There are no sick days, no time off, no recognition. The only reward is if your kid is healthy, happy, and decides to behave that day. I wouldn't give it up for the world because I love my kids more than anything, but it is incredibly thankless. Throughout the years, my husband and I have struggled to maintain a strong relationship. For the most part, I do believe he is a good person to the people he cares about. He is dependable and very self-driven. If all we needed in life were material things, we would be incredibly happy. Unfortunately, he could be very immature, selfish, impulsive, and is not at all trustworthy. Our friends and family think we have it all. From the outside, he comes across as a very considerate and caring husband. And I'm sure he is in comparison to many other spouses. He travels 4 to 5 days a week for work, but when he is home, he gets up with the kids to take them to school so I can sleep in. He also does their nighttime routine and handles whatever sports practices and games are occurring when he is in town. He goes on dates with me when I ask him to go out and rubs my feet when they hurt. We go on a couples trip each year with just the two of us to exotic places internationally. He even took me on a designer shopping spree. It all sounds and looks like a dream life. And for the most part, it is. But last night I had an epiphany. And it shook me to my core. I need to open up to someone about it in case I'm going crazy. I think we are the secret family in his marriage to his job, and we will never be his main priority. I don't know if I can live with that. I admittedly have a history with trust and intimacy issues based on mistreatment growing up from a bipolar and manic depressive parent, and a mom with codependency issues who never stood up for her kids or herself. As a middle child, I learned that no one would prioritize my well-being except for me. I learned to stand up for myself and the people I cared about. I have definitely brought that into my marriage and family life. I will always speak up when there is a problem and advocate for what I think is best. I attribute the majority of the life we have been able to give our kids to that. In the past, my marriage has suffered from infidelity, online only to the best of my knowledge, constant lying, and my husband prioritizing work over everything else. We have been to counseling multiple times to try and work through these issues, but the lying and prioritizing work only gets better temporarily. And then he returns to his workaholic ways. He's in sales and is the typical salesman. Lying is a huge trigger for me, but he is so good at his job because his gaslighting skills are incredible. He's able to easily take a negative and twist it to make you think it is actually the best thing to ever happen to you. For example, we had a vacation plan for the week of Thanksgiving at our timeshare. We go once a year to decompress and spend time together as a family, making quality memories with our kids. He is not supposed to work on those trips, but he always does. He excuses it by waking up before the rest of us to do meetings or emails, but he always has some client emergency he needs to handle at least a few times during the day. It is the best we get, though. This year, we planned our trip, and not a week later, he has a conference in the same place at a different resort at the same time as our trip. But he explains that it is actually perfect because we can just change our trip to after the conference and stay at the resort his conference is at in the beginning. That way, our vacation is longer. Sounds great, right? Until he adds that we cannot bug him during the day because it's very important work conference. We probably won't see him much because he will need to get up early to answer work emails. Then the conference will have planned activities during the day and dinner receptions in the evenings. In the couple of hours between that, he'll need to catch up on the work phone calls, meetings, and emails he missed during the conference. So we are on our own. But the amenities are so nice, so just go enjoy the resort. It will be great. But if we see him when we are out and about and tell the kids to pretend to not know him because that's not professional. Yes, the other employees have their own spouses here, so it's not a huge deal. But his boss specifically does not like it. His boss doesn't like when other people have families.
Yeah.
Is he just so jealous that he's like, no one else can have a wife or kids because I want that.
Maybe it might be like kids are annoying, like, you know, they put a bad taste in my mouth or something. Like, there's people who just generally don't like kids.
So we need to pretend not to know him in case it gets back to her and looks unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. I'm very used to him being over the top, concerned about his professional image. I hang out with the kids and it's fine until we all end up super sick with colds. Like no voice, can't breathe. The kids get over it in a day. I stay sick. I'm still sick. I still take them on an entire day tour by myself for 12 hours because I do not want them to miss a thing since this resort is in an area they haven't been to. I take them to the pool. I take them to the beach. We conk out every night by 7 because we're so exhausted. And in my case, sick. Then yesterday I woke up too sick to get out of bed. No voice, sore throat, migraine, and severe head congestion. I had to stay in the room with the kids on their tablets all day while they begged every 2 seconds to go to the beach, the pool, anything. But my body had just given up. Long flight, long days, single parenting. It didn't matter how nice the surroundings were, my body was done. It also coincided with the last day of the conference. I saw my husband for all of 30 minutes. He told me I looked and sounded awful, and he was so sorry. I asked if he would drive me to the store to get medicine. He said he did not have time. I had to order it from DoorDash. He couldn't even order it.
Yeah.
He couldn't even ordered that for you?
I know, that's what I thought. I was like, well, I can't do it, but like I will get someone to do it.
It arrived, and I felt well enough to get ready and take the boys to dinner at the hotel restaurant since they had been cooped up all day. I sent my husband a picture of my son's sushi, and he came and said hi for 2 minutes, commented that I looked pretty, and left. The kids and I finished up and went back to the room to crash. I woke up several hours later and noticed my husband was not back. I checked the time on my phone and it was after 1 a.m. I called him and he answered saying he was just walking back to the room. He was networking in the lobby bar with a client he was trying to complete a deal with. And why am I so upset? He is here to work. That's when I lost it. He goes to these conferences, has the time of his life eating fancy dinners and doing private fancy tours and ATVs, going to catered receptions at night, then closes down bars with his clients because he's networking. Not one check-in text with his sick wife who couldn't even get out of bed until 7 p.m. When she got the medicine, she had to DoorDash because answering work emails was more important to him. Regardless, he saw no issue with drinking until the lobby bar shut down at 1 a.m. and justified it as work. This is not the first, last, or 100th time there has been an incident like this either. This is just the time it has been so blatantly obvious that I cannot ignore it anymore. He will always prioritize himself and his career over our family, and I will always have to prioritize our family for the both of us. But my epiphany is that I don't have to prioritize him anymore. Is that a-holish? I am in a place at this point where, to me, it is not enough for a divorce. My kids love their dad, and he is a great dad when he's actually around. He also superficially takes care of my needs better than I think a lot of other spouses do. But I have never been anyone's important person or priority, and it is the thing I have always wanted most. I grew up having to be strong and stand up for myself, but I wish so badly that I could put that responsibility down and let someone else handle it for a change. And I feel like I keep giving him opportunities to do that and stupidly expecting him to do it because he's my husband. But he does not unless it is convenient for him and works with his own priorities to himself and his job. Is it okay if I give up on that expectation and stop letting him in so I stop getting hurt? Like no more couples trips. No dates, no watching the same show at night, no more intimacy, physical or emotional, nothing that could build back our relationship and bond just for me to let him in and get hurt and disappointed again. He is a salesman and everything. So when he does those things to build our bond, it is always to benefit himself. I know it will cause a lot of emotional distance and damage our marriage even more, but we have been to marriage counseling 3 times, and it has been brought up every single time. He always acts apologetic and gets better for a month or 2, and then we're back here again. I feel like a shrew all the time trying to force him to spend time with us, to let work go for a minute, or even to just proudly show us off instead of hiding us and making it seem unprofessional. Shouldn't that actually be more commendable? I feel like Stuart from SNL begging for attention like, look at me, look what I can do. It's exhausting, and I'm so tired. I'm sick of being what is essentially his secret family on the side to his marriage with himself and his company. Like a booty call when he has time. For my own mental health, I need to stop prioritizing him constantly at my own detriment. I need to become my own person. I plan to start taking steps to have my own career when we get back. I have looked at some options. I am canceling the activities we had planned as a couple for the remainder of the trip. I booked them anyway because, heaven forbid, he made the effort for one-on-one time that isn't physical. I'm getting my very first tattoo. What?
Whoa.
Okay.
Mommy stepping out of her comfort
Look
zone.
at you. It is going to be small script and say, when you rely on someone to feed you, you give them the ability to starve you. I need the reminder on my body constantly to stay strong, to only rely on myself. Is this unfair or too harsh? Is there a better way to handle this? By the way, the only way to handle your life is to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. I cannot divorce him while the kids are still living at home. As their mom, I know it would not be the best thing for them in this situation, and Reddit will have to trust me on that. It would also be a waste because after my childhood, this marriage, and everyone I know's relationships, I'm pretty convinced I am too emotionally needy for the kind of relationship I want. Book boyfriends are unrealistic. I will never get married again or open myself up emotionally to someone. Enough is truly enough. I actually desperately want the freedom of only relying on myself for my own happiness. Is there even another path to this situation besides that, honestly? I'm not open to being vulnerable anymore. I just simply cannot be. I would love some advice on how to handle this. I do not need or want a moral judgment. I would love to know if this has been anyone else's experience and what they have done, or even if they have been on the other side. I am a huge proponent of trying my best to look at both sides when making decisions. But that is the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up. My daughter told my fiance I had a secret boyfriend. She made it all up.
Whoa, crazy time.
My 5-year-old daughter told my fiance, her father, that I had a secret boyfriend. He told me that she was very descriptive about appearance, age, build, voice, and that I apparently see this man often.
Oh my God.
She's like, Daddy, your girlfriend, she meets a man. He's super tall. He has bright red hair.
Oh man.
He's got polka dots, and he's also got purple suspenders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you know?
I just know. I've seen him in my dreams.
Oh my gosh.
I laughed as I thought it was a joke at first, but he was serious and believes her. By the way, this comes from Creepy Sign 3336. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. The problem is, I don't have a secret boyfriend. I don't meet with anyone. I don't have friends. And I don't have family members who she could be confused by. I'm a homebody, and the times I go out is either with the family, run quick errands to the store, down the street, or take or pick up the children from school. Our home also has a Ring camera that I have no control over, so there's no way I could bring this man home.
Why don't you have control over your Ring camera?
That was also my question.
Yeah.
It feels like your life is not in your control.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Is this all a simulation?
Yeah, I think so. I think your daughter is experiencing the kind of prologue of the movie Captain Hook is coming in her window.
Oh man.
And she's like, whoa, my stepmom has a
boyfriend.
A really old boyfriend with a hook for a hand.
And long curly hair and a big
and
old
he's
hat.
really mean.
Yeah, I don't like it very much.
No. With her being so descriptive, I have no idea how to go about this without making it seem like I'm leading her to say she was lying or seem like I'm gaslighting her. Any advice or suggestions on how to help this situation would be much appreciated. Edit. Thank you to everyone who's taken the time. I haven't been able to respond, but I will later. To clarify, I don't have friends. I do have friends. He's like, guys, I'm not a loser. I got friends.
Then OP starts making up someone.
Yes.
She's got purple hair and
they've got suspenders.
Yeah.
And they live in Canada.
She goes to another school.
Just not in the area I'm currently in.
Wait, guys, see?
Come
it's
on.
real.
So there are none who I could possibly visit with, and my daughter got confused. We moved from the Midwest, US, my home area, to a southern state, his home area, a little over a year ago. Not having friends here is my choice. I don't want friends.
I don't even want them.
I don't want them.
I have so many people wanting to be my friend, but
Yeah.
I say no.
It's just,
I don't want you.
Stop it. There's too many friends for me here.
I can't.
As I'm a pretty reserved person, and I'm not a very social person unless I'm comfortable. I prefer home. The Ring doorbell camera. I should have explained this better, but the doorbell belongs to fiance's mother. She currently lives with us due to some matters and asked to install it. I didn't have any interest in it. I only brought this up in the post to prove myself, I suppose. Did my daughter actually say this? Did fiance make it up? Did he lead her with questioning? Good questions.
Good question.
He told me she randomly brought it up unprovoked while they were out getting ice cream last night. I'm not sure if there was any leading. Was he tall? Did he have a deep voice like this? I'm sure he was asking questions though. When he told me what was said, she was nearby. So I asked her in a joking tone, "What did you tell Daddy?" Her response was a giggle and said, "Your boyfriend." I didn't go any further than that. I was just baffled in fiance because her demeanor and tone suggested she was joking. He knows this. She doesn't understand the term boyfriend. It's a friend who's a boy to her. She's also 5 years old.
That was one of my clarifying questions as well. I feel like he maybe she doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, she's this many years old. She just doesn't know.
Yeah. this many, guys.
But I'm sure his reaction to her got her going more. I didn't continue the conversation because it was close to bedtime and I wanted to process everything to make sure I go about the situation with both fiance and daughter correctly. I didn't want my responses towards my daughter to be angry because she is only 5 and she's innocently just talking out of her hind end and doesn't realize the chaos she's brought forth, which is what led me here for some advice. I will be sitting down with my fiance later this morning and having a conversation about where his thoughts are at and why he believes her. If needed, I will do as a lot of commenters have suggested and pull my daughter into the conversation, keeping it lighthearted and silly for her. Thank you again for those who took the time on my post. I will update this post later. And we've got some comments.
Yeah, I'm curious on fiance's exact reaction to this.
Yeah.
I want to know how fast he believed her. I want to know how strongly he believed her, how he was treating OP after he believed her and heard about this, or if he was just like, hey, what?
This was a weird thing that our daughter said.
Yeah, because I think all that is super important, because if something small is going to set him off like that and completely, spiraling and thinking that his fiance is cheating on him, like,
based on the words of a 5-year-old who was laughing while she said it.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, sure, at one point, kids can be really honest, but at the other time, kids can be very not honest. Or just not know what's going on.
Completely discredit them, but you can ask in a way that's not accusatory.
And then back up with, your fellow adults.
Yeah. But we've got a little bit of comments to read. Comment 1 says, I would ask your daughter about it. Don't get angry, but ask her to explain herself. Why she thinks you have a boyfriend. What she thinks a boyfriend is. Ask her what he looks like when she has seen you with him. Once you find out what she's talking about, you may be able to understand and then properly explain what a boyfriend is and what, if anything, the boyfriend is. Do it with your fiance so he can see it isn't leading or coached. Comment 2, does your 5-year-old understand what a boyfriend is? Did someone deliver something to the house or did she see you talking to someone when you were out? I would ask her privately. If your fiance is there and you ask these questions, she may feel like she can't answer it. Well, those are two different advice.
Yeah, that's two polar opposite things.
Yeah.
Have them be there, have them not be there.
I don't know which one to tell you, actually. Comment 3 says she's 5. Imagination plus dreams plus random memories can turn into very detailed stories. The real issue is your fiance believing her over you. Comment 4 says, ask your daughter about this. Where has she seen him? What's his name? You want to see a picture? Where can you find one? It might be a guy off a TV show or a teacher from school. If you can figure out who your secret boyfriend is, it'll be easier to discredit her. Yeah. The defense may say that this is, I have a secret boyfriend, but she's 5 years old. She's a liar, Your Honor.
She doesn't know anything. She can barely tie her shoes.
Your Honor,
little girl.
No, and then she goes to the 5-year-old. She's like, "What's her name? Sarah. That's the 5-year-old's name.
Yep.
Sarah, can you count to 5 for us?" The girl's like, no." She's like, "Your Honor,
Come on.
Your Honor." And he's like, "Order." Defense, the witness can't count to 5.
Come on. The witness is clearly not of sound mind.
Yeah, she cannot count to 5.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no, wait, would OP be defense?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. You guys
like
get
this
the bit.
version.
Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, I hope that you also get that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I wonder if this whole time this 5-year-old has been describing OP's fiance.
Oh.
What if she don't know the difference between marriage, husband, wife, fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yeah, she's like, you were boyfriend before you got fiancé'd.
Yeah.
So
What if she's like, no, you guys don't understand. This whole thing is funny because I'm talking about you.
Yeah, you are so silly.
Yeah.
She's like the dad has like brown hair, a beard. She's like, he is tall.
Yeah.
He has brown hair and he has a beard.
And he's like, oh, my girlfriend has a type. I knew it.
Unbelievable. Update. Well, I had a combo with fiance. The good news is that he didn't really believe her story.
Oh, okay.
Although he was quite convincing by going to bed early and avoiding me. He explained that she didn't outright say boyfriend while telling her story to him. It was a man The boyfriend was something he added. Okay, you can't just add things. Your Honor.
Your
You can't just
Honor.
add things.
Leading the witness.
Yes. He said she told him there was a man that I see, and he was asking her silly questions to keep the conversation going. I still haven't heard her full story or what man she could possibly be talking about, whether it's a character from a video game I play or a show, but I am interested in it. I may need to know more of this man. I still don't understand why he wanted to convince me that he believed this story, but yeesh. And that's the end of that story.
What?
Is there an
Your
update?
Honor.
Your Honor, I need more.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, you left me on a cliffhanger.
I don't like this.
I'm checking if there's an update.
That's
Please.
insane.
Yeah.
I really do not believe the fiance at all. He's like, well, that's just what I wanted you to think.
Yeah.
I didn't actually believe her.
That would be really stupid
the
if I
story was
believed.
deleted by the original posting.
The drama continues, but without us there.
Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it.
What if they had some sort of fight? And she was
Yeah.
like, well, Reddit said this. And he
he's
was like,
Reddit?
delete it. Blah, blah, blah.
That would be annoying.
My boyfriend's priority is his best friend, and now I feel like a third wheel.
Well, you should start squeaking because the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
For some background, my boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 24 female, have been dating for about 4.5 years. We are moving in together in December and are planning to get engaged next year once I graduate from nursing school. I have always thought we have a generally more healthy relationship than most couples. By the way, this comes from Pen Crazy, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, the only thing that has been a consistent struggle is his lack of affection towards me. He is not a lovey-dovey, PDA, physical touch kind of person, or so he says, and I am. He doesn't completely deprive me of affection, but it's always been less than I feel like I need. My boyfriend has a friend, let's call him John, 30 male. They have been friends since childhood because my boyfriend was best friends with John's younger brother. Throughout our relationship, I knew that John's younger brother was his best friend, and I would attend the White Elephant Christmas parties and annual pig smokes that their family hosts every year. I always disliked John because he's a very contrarian, smart aleck type of person. Some background on John, he is a 30-year-old virgin, never had a girlfriend or shown interest in women. In fact, he is overly critical of women. He is morbidly obese to the point of having an upcoming gastric sleeve surgery after powering through Ozempic. He is overly critical of women that are way out of his league. Like, I could show him a picture of Megan Fox in Transformers, and he would say, he doesn't find her attractive, or that she's not his type. My boyfriend has told me multiple times that their friend group has always suspected that John is attracted to the same gender. John has never been friendly towards me, and we have rarely exchanged words anytime we're around each other. John has never been friendly towards me, and we've rarely exchanged words anytime we're around each other. I never cared because, to my knowledge, John and my boyfriend weren't that close. He was just his best friend's brother. John moved and has lived an hour and a half away from us the past year. I've noticed in the past 6 months that my boyfriend and John have gotten extremely close. They text each other all the time, what seems like all day, every day. They play video games together daily if they can. My boyfriend doesn't play when I'm over, mutual rule since the start of us dating. Every time I come over to my boyfriend's house, he's on the game with John. Says he gets off the game and I can hear John through the headset, throwing a fit. They message each other so much that at one point, my boyfriend and I lost the pink hearts because John was his number one best friend. When I asked who took it, my boyfriend said, John. I don't know how. We only messaged each other like once a day, which was obviously a lie. I thought it was weird that he would lie about how much he chats with him. Every decision my boyfriend makes, he has to consult with John and takes John's word over mine or anyone else's. For example, he just bought a house that we're moving into in December, and he calls John every day to get his opinion and consult with him. My boyfriend insisted that John is coming to the inspections on the house, even though he knows nothing about house inspections. My boyfriend brings John up multiple times a day and speaks about him with a weird affection that he usually doesn't have. Whenever I'm around the two of them together, I can't get a word in, and my boyfriend will be dismissive towards me and make it very obvious that he cares more about talking to or being around John. They used to get breakfast together every Sunday morning for months, and when I asked why I wasn't invited, my boyfriend said he just didn't think I would want to come, and kind of made it clear I wasn't welcome.
My boyfriend has told me that John has voiced concerns to him that when we move in together, my boyfriend won't be able to play video games with him. He recently started stepping out of the room to take a call with John, which he never used to do before. Every couple of months, my boyfriend will take a trip to stay at John's house for the weekend, but to my knowledge, it's never just the two of them. My boyfriend's mom also has a strong disliking towards John, but my boyfriend gets extremely mad or defensive if either of us voices our feelings about him. I have never had the urge to go through my boyfriend's phone during our relationship. I value the trust we have, and I've just never thought to do it. My boyfriend has a 6-digit passcode on his phone and has always tried to hide it when he's typing it in. I've never known it, and he's never told me during the 4 years we've been together, not even in a casual, my phone's passed away, what's your passcode, so I can blah, blah, blah type of way. He won't tell me, he'll type it in. When I look at his phone while he's texting, it's always paragraphs back and forth with John. All of these things may sound stupid, but I just have a strong feeling to go through his phone because I think there might be some weird romantic or emotional feelings between him and John. It's gotten to the point where I feel jealous of John. Fair. And a wave of anger rushes over me every time my boyfriend mentions his name. I hate this feeling. Never in my life would I have thought that I would be jealous of another frickin' man and my boyfriend. I can't tell if I'm totally overreacting or not, but I've never had such a strong gut feeling that something fishy is going on. I need advice. And there are some comments, but do you think something fishy is going on?
I mean, like, all right, let's take out the hypothetical they're kissing.
Yeah.
Let's take that away.
Yeah.
Let's take away the thought that they want to kiss.
Take it away.
If this guy just hates women,
yeah,
and your boyfriend is constantly hanging out and talking with him,
it's not a great look on your boyfriend.
Well, it's gonna inevitably, I think, rub off on him.
Yeah, or that.
Like it's not like he's gonna learn to respect you and care for you more by hanging out with this guy who just like trashes women all the time at any given opportunity.
It's freaking true.
So even barring if they have a crush on each other or they're planning a gaycation, that alone is like why I'm worried about that.
A big red flag. Just also the fact that if you've brought up the fact, I mean, if you haven't already brought it up, then bring it up. But if you have brought up that you have some gripes about the relationship, some things that you're not satisfied with, and he just doesn't listen and just hangs out with John all the time, then that's an issue.
Yeah.
Comments. Comment 1 says, I think it's important to keep in mind that it really doesn't matter if there is something more going on between John and your boyfriend at this point. If you're not comfortable with the amount of time and effort that your boyfriend puts towards his friendship with John and the way he clearly favors John over you in situations like the ones you've described, it's a problem. Comment 2 says, even if he's not romantically interested or involved with John, there's manipulative stuff going on and you're being played. You need to address this head on with your boyfriend. It's not even about John. It's about him not being open and honest with you. And if he can't do that, do you really want to marry him? OP says, I agree, but what other manipulative things could be happening besides what I'm suspecting? My boyfriend works from home. I'm there almost every day, so I can't even rationalize him physically cheating on me with someone else. I feel like there's a weird emotional relationship going on. Reply says, all I'm saying is that whether or not he's cheating with John isn't really relevant. It's a pattern of behavior that has no place in a healthy relationship, and there is an update. Let's get into it. So I had a long conversation with my boyfriend about the issue I had with him and John's friendship. I listed out all of the evidence that I stated in the original post, got really emotional, and said it's either explain to me what's going on and dial back the relationship with John, or it's the end of our relationship. At first, my boyfriend was really confused and asked if I was insinuating that he was attracted to John. I said I didn't know. All I know is that I'm jealous of a man's relationship with my boyfriend. I was crying my eyes out, terrified of what he was going to say. After explaining in detail how I felt inferior and how he made me feel like I came second to John, my boyfriend was very apologetic and said that he had no idea I felt that way. He explained the reasoning behind all of the evidence in the original post and said he was definitely not attracted to the same gender, which I fully believe. He said that he views John as a brother and feels bad for him because he doesn't have any other friends. He said he's been asking John for advice a lot because John tends to know a lot of info about everything. Since he has no friends, he spends a lot of time researching and nerding out about things. Boyfriend said he knows John is an a-hole and he understands why I don't like him. Boyfriend also said he thinks John is an a-hole too, but he's a smart one. So he was talking with him a lot about moving in and buying a house since it was all new to my boyfriend. By the way, my advice to you is to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but I don't fully believe that.
I kind of do. I can see that.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of guys get into that situation because of the male loneliness epidemic. And it's like sometimes you just, you meet people or you know people who are just like kind of like just all on their own. And you're like, and I mean, I don't think like texting paragraphs constantly.
That's what I'm saying.
But like
I don't
also
feel like
it's like
just
we don't
talking about the house.
We don't know, like it's a sticky situation once you feel responsible for another person.
Yeah.
And so once you reach that level, it's like, well, if I just like stop being this guy's friend or I cut him off, like, is he going to be okay?
Yeah.
Like, then it leads to that level of like,
It's not a healthy friendship if you're just trying to take care of someone.
Yeah, it feels like if you're indebted to like, I
Yeah.
have to, or not indentured
Mm-hmm.
to this person, it's like, well, I have to. It's like my job basically at this point.
But there's a little bit left. He said that I should never feel inferior to anyone else because I'm the most important person in his life. And that not only will he dial it back on his relationship with John, but he will make it a priority to treat me better so that I never feel that way again. He said he will no longer make me feel like John is included in the process of us building our future together. I feel a lot better about the situation after we talked. He cleared up all the anxiety-inducing thoughts I was having. So it turns out I was overreacting, lol. Thanks everyone for your advice and empathy while I was spiraling trying to figure out what was going on. And that is the end of that story.
I checked my wife's phone records and caught her lying about texting her coworker.
Ooh, liar, liar, pants on fire.
So I, male 61, always had a very naive and blind faith in my wife, 59 female's, fidelity. Honestly, it never entered my mind that she even noticed other men or would ever even think about someone else. By the way, this comes from throwaway 213454321. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Vincent.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, foolish, ignorant, and naive, I now realize, not because of what she's done or not done, but just because, duh, of course, she's human, and so is everyone else. She's attractive and friendly, and attractions happen. I've literally been punting my butt for a few months now over realizing just how stupid I've always been. One day, a couple months ago, she tells me a story about a prank a couple guys at her work pulled on their supervisor. It's a fun work environment, and shows me a text from one dude kidding around to her about it. I jokingly said, "Who is this dude texting your phone?" She responds, kind of surprised, and says, "Do you want to read it all?" I smirked and said, "No, I don't care." Which was not entirely true, but I didn't want to look insecure or like I was accusing her of wrongdoing. Things settle down, but you see I fly, and so does this dude mentioned above. I got a new, to me, plane last year, and she mentioned this to him. Oh my god!
Oh, he
fly
flies.
like a plane!
Okay.
Since then, she's bringing him home his stories of flying and how he said I should do X and Y to my plane and that he knows how I should do my maintenance. So I'm a red-blooded man and really do not want another dude saying these things to my wife. Like he wants to puff himself up to her. Am I sounding like a teenager? I know, ha ha ha. A few weeks pass and she brings me her phone and says, "Look at this," all excited. It's him flying his plane. Newer and a little larger than mine.
Oh, no.
Oh, OP, is his plane a little bigger than yours?
His plane's shiny on mine.
Are you making me a little uncomfortable that he's got a bigger plane?
Got a big old plane. Hit flies farther and
no.
lasts a little bit longer in the air.
Kind of dangerously. He got a few of his buddies to record him doing some stunts out in the country and stitched them into a short that she somehow got a hold of. I had no idea it was him. At first, I assumed it was a random Facebook video or whatever. She scrolls Facebook like all the time crazy. Then she shows me a text thread with him that she initiated, kinda teasing him about how dangerous that was. He texts back, ha ha ha, blah blah, and she says something funny that she wanted me to see was funny. That's when she shared all of this, because she got a zinger in on him. That didn't sit well, and since I was holding the phone, I said, what else are you guys talking about? And scrolled up. Well, the very next previous exchange was them going over a work issue, which she solved for him, and he responds with a cartoon bitmoji of his face and upper body holding heart hands to her. I kinda went red when I saw that, and scrolled a little more to see the next oldest exchange was the above mentioned prank, which was around a month prior. So, not seeing a lot of frequent action, I stopped and handed her her phone back. I found this dude on Facebook, and he rarely posts anything that I could see. Some updates a couple times per year, nothing in 2024. So how did she get the plane video? I told her I looked him up and the video wasn't on his public feed, and she says, I don't know how that works. Huh? You don't know how you were able to see it? I dropped it because, again, I don't want to appear insecure or accusing, but dang, did he send her a private link? Was he just trying to game her and humiliate me? Am I now being a child for feeling this insecurity? LMAO. After that, I told her later, you remember offering to show me his text way back that first time about the prank? I'd take you up on that now. She said, I already deleted everything. Oh, great. I was pissed at the heart hands. That's a sign of love, in my opinion. She said, don't be jealous. I work with these people, etc., which did not make me feel better. I had already been leaving anyway, so I left and we didn't speak for a few hours. Then she called me and we had a chat, and it seemed she was trying to sweep it away and not consider my feelings on the matter. Well, I was also pissed that she initiated a personal text teasing him about his plane. And why are they using their personal phones for business anyway? They have a desk phone and DM through their IT systems. It's all starting to look fishy to me. I'm gonna pause real fast.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not gonna downplay your feelings, OP, okay? You can have them, and I think it's good to get them out there so she knows. I think you're sounding a little insecure.
Yeah.
I agree.
And here's the key thing here. She's showing you this.
Right.
If there was like some actual romantic feelings between these two, she would try to hide that from you.
Right.
And she hasn't done any actions or made anything seem like she's actually into this guy. This guy might be into her.
For sure.
I would definitely like...
It's one of those things where it's like, I think that you can make your wife aware of the situation and just have that so she knows that it's in your mind and she can be aware of it and everything. But ultimately, they work together.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to communicate.
Yeah, they work together. I might like let her know that way, like, hey, I don't know if you know, but this guy definitely has a thing for you, or I feel like it. It makes me feel like this.
Right.
And then, yeah, go from there.
Yeah. I will not look at her phone. I did it one time during this ordeal and felt horrible. Closed it quickly without digging and never touched it again. Please share your feedback on this information and any similar stories or advice you would give me. I appreciate your reply and thank you for reading. And there's an update, and we'll get into that. So I read every response. Thank you to everyone who contributed. Some great advice, some not so great. But I reviewed it all and paid attention to how many upvotes each reply got, in order to judge which advice was most favorable and most likely to help solve my problem. Really doing that very scientific, dude.
Okay.
Anyway, about to burst, I finally had to broach the subject in a face-to-face conversation yesterday, Sunday, while we were relaxing. She was very open and willing to discuss anything I wanted. But once we got into it, one thing happened that was funny. When this all first came to light, I had asked her to tell me if she had any contact with her friend, and she had not come to me to report any in the 2 weeks since. So I asked her yesterday, and she said, no, none. Then I said, none? And she said, well, he passed my open office door one time and said, hey, and I replied, hey. She said, that's all. One time, she told me. I said, but you just said none a minute ago. And she said just one hey, that's all. I thought it was mildly humorous that she left that out because so far the conversation was going really well. So I asked her if he'd entered her office, and she said no, No other contact, period. That satisfied me. Then we talked about the heart emoji he sent her, which I still felt was inappropriate. She again was reluctant to say he was flirting with her, and she was so open and convincing that I started to just accept that she has a better feel for his intentions and how he behaves around her to make this judgment, and that I could trust her on this point. I asked her a lot of other questions, and we spent a good bit of time on discussing boundaries and protecting our relationship. Our relationship started when we were teenagers. Times were different then, and it's simply something we had never discussed. Arrows from enemies, keeping a wall of defense around our hearts. She wanted to draw a picture of her wall and it went to the sky. She drew a picture of other people's walls that had openings and places where they could peek out to look for possible opportunities with others. She said her wall is impenetrable. She offered several other unsolicited, reassuring comments. Then she said, I have answered all of your questions with utmost honesty, and now I want to ask you a question. I was a little nervous, but she said, what can I do to make you feel more secure? What do you want from me? I smiled and she just said, no, answer me. And I just said that I smiled because her asking me that was exactly what I wanted. My only answer was, I do not want you to do anything different than you already are. So her asking that was just perfect. I also stressed that I did not want her to feel she has to change who she is and how she behaves, and not to feel like she has to hold back work stories involving men for fear of causing me anxiety. I do not need that. She has fully restored my trust and faith in her. I then said, wait, I do want something. I want you to come to me if ever you perceive any issue with other men, with us, or within yourself, so we can discuss it openly. That's all I want. I did not get to all of the questions in my mind or cover all the possible scenarios that came from everyone's input. It just got to the point that I was convinced it was a false alarm and wanted to move on with our day, which was fantastic. Later, we had a really great time in the bedroom. Okay. Smiley face.
Hope you had fun. That's great. Good. But I think you just ran into a little bit of insecurity. She doesn't need to change anything, but I think you might need to do a little thinking of, like, what do you need? Because clearly, like, something, like, what reassurance?
It was a very valid question, and I was kind of hoping that he gave her something that she could do to reassure. Because it's like, you sound like you need it.
Yeah, because, like, your feelings are valid. Like, if you're feeling something, that means something's happening to you. And if you can address it and figure out, okay, I'm feeling this because I'm afraid of something.
Yeah, 100%.
Then work out what you may need from her or what you need to do for you in order to react in the most positive way you can to address that feeling. Because you're going to have those feelings. Yeah.
I just wanted to pass along this conclusion to my problem and to thank everyone who took the time to help me sort this out. We have another update. Anyway, she ended her sabbatical with a few weeks left, which she often reserves to use over the holidays. She's been back under the same roof with her male friend for a couple weeks, and I just can't get it out of my head. Here's why this keeps bugging me. She has never brought this up again, even though it's impossible they haven't encountered each other since the event, either before her taking leave or since returning. Sure, they may pass in the hall and say hi, and I don't want to get those updates several times a day. But before the event, his name would crop up in after-work stories at least every couple months, if not more. Her telling me, guy said this, guy did that. Since then, not a peep. Why is he suddenly invisible to me? You need to maybe think about the fact that she's like respecting your boundary and your concerns and is staying away from him.
At this point, you're creating the problem in your head.
Yeah.
Like, she's just working with this guy. You're spiraling.
Fully.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. Figure out what that is. And then figure out what you need to do. Fix that for yourself.
Yep. Either she truly has not had spontaneous contact, or she shut him down. Or she's protecting us by not mentioning it, since I had a strong negative reaction to her relationship with him. She's got me feeling like I shouldn't even bring it up again, even though she assured me multiple times that she would report any interaction, which hasn't happened, and that she was fine with me bringing it up. In the meantime, I've been staying alert, which has also been eye-opening. She openly engages with men right in my presence in ways that I now feel are inappropriate and flirtatious. I never noticed it before because I always had 100% blind trust and just saw her as a super friendly type of person. But when she sits next to a man on the other side of the room to tease him, sitting against him so their shoulders touch, smiling, laughing, and putting her hand on his shoulder at church, then to me, that is now suddenly sus. Mind you, this is a man I know for certain she has zero spicy-related interest in, but come on, I'm right here watching this crap. Ugh, what are you doing with hot guys when I'm not around? Anyway, this is my quick question, lol. Sorry it wasn't so quick. I'm still debating whether to reopen this issue. We have had a fantastic summer with lots of spicy sleep, love, and caring, so I don't want to upset her or us unnecessarily. However, I don't think I can just wish this away. Sometimes I feel like I can. Just decide to let it all go and be happy and return to normal. But the question is, which of these 3 courses would you advise? Or another. 1. Do nothing for now. Continue to observe and be diligent in reacting to anything sus. 2. Bring it up in a casual way. Just ask, any contact with guy? 3. Number 2, adding a lot more very probing questions like, has guy texted or messaged you since the event? Did you ever have physical contact with guy? Either of you touch each other? Does he make you laugh and feel special? Do you think he's attractive? Do you have other men that you message directly, non-work? Do you have Snapchat friends other than family? We all use Snapchat for family chatting. Do you Facebook message with any men? She's an avid Facebook user. Do you use any other messaging apps? Do you have anything else relevant to share that I might be interested in? 3 is what I want to do, but I'm afraid it could damage our relationship, especially if there's nothing going on. Don't you, oh my god, don't you freaking dare do 3, I'll tell you that much.
3 definitely will mess up your relationship.
Yikes.
Dude.
This poor girl.
Your thing
Get
is...
over it, dude.
What you want to do? You want to control everything, every person she meets?
Yeah, hot people exist in the world and she's gonna come across them.
Yeah, and she has given you no reason.
Nothing.
No reason to doubt her in any way. The call is coming from inside the house. It's all you right now.
That's a yikes, dude. What are we doing?
You gotta do some work. I think you should choose option E, go to a therapist, talk, and like, don't blame her for any of this, because like, just say, I'm feeling this. Why am I feeling like this? Yeah. And it's not her. It's I'm feeling like this because I feel like abandoned or I feel afraid of something. Figure out what that is and do the work.
Get to the root of it, dude. It is not her. I feel like it's warranted. But it's very intrusive, and she would probably be offended by the level of scrutiny. To add, we have open phones, but I do not snoop. I need to resolve this one way or another. It's eating me up. I think about it every day, almost all day, interfering with work, and can't go a day or 2 without drinking. I appreciate your time and thoughtful replies. And also, feel free to comment on my other threads if you like. Update 3!
Wait, did he just plug his other threads?
He did. Yeah. Some of you might remember my tale, but briefly. Around 4 months ago, my wife showed me some text exchanges between herself and a male coworker that made me uncomfortable. We had a few conversations, and I felt we settled the issue, but it has continued to gnaw at me for months now. Please review my post history for all the details.
Another plug.
As mentioned in my last post, she ended her sabbatical and is back at work with her male friend these past couple of weeks. Still looking for a way to resolve this. I went back to the cell phone logs and... thanks to reading these forums, I found fastpeoplesearch.com, which actually gives you the name of the owner and a cell phone number, very reliably. I had tried other ways to get her friend's number before, but none worked. Until this one.
No.
I think we have a little ICU, but... so, I went back through her text logs and finally hit on his number. Gnawing feeling in the stomach. I made a little chart and found all the dates they texted. This mostly reassured me and made things better, except for one small detail. Back when I first searched her text logs, I recognized several numbers of family and friends, but she interacts with a lot of people in her work using her personal phone, and dozens of unknown numbers were of no help. As of now, I have identified all but about 2 numbers. His was next to the last one on my list, but I found him! On to the good and the bad. The good, I could see that there was not a lot of activity prior to my discovery, the event, and never outside work hours. although I could only see back to February now. This reassured me that she was honest when she said most of their texts were boring work-related, although some of the exchanges were longer than what I remember seeing in that flash of time that I viewed the thread. 10, 14, even 24 total back and forth. But I also realized texts add up fast. Some of my threads with her can go 30 or 40 in a matter of minutes, so not too big a deal. The bad. So you might have read where I asked her the day of the event to tell me if he ever contacts her again, and she agreed. One of my issues in my last post was that she has never come to me to report anything, even though I know they must interact in some way. I don't want her to report every hi in the hall, but non-work chats, or especially texts or anything like that, should be reported. So 2 weeks after the event, and after seeing advice here, I sat her down to discuss things and asked her if there had been any contact. She said no, none. Then when I pressed her, she admitted he had greeted her outside her open office door, which is fine, and I let it slide, since that kind of contact I know is going to happen and not a problem. But that was it, period. However, once I knew his number and could scan for every interaction, I found it. He texted her 2 days after the event, 3 quick texts, and she texted back 1 time. That is all. Nothing after that, even up to today. So she lied. 2 days after she promised to tell me if he texted her, he did. And 2 weeks later, when I asked her about it, she denied it. Dude, it was probably work-related.
I'm horrified.
This man is driving me nuts.
Well, one, like, he stalked his own wife's phone.
You drive me nuts. You have no trust.
If you continue doing this, you will be destroying your relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like ruining it for himself for absolutely no reason at all. Like just being insecure and just being like weird about it and just being like, what else can I possibly find to cause an issue?
It's almost like he wants to find something.
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
And it's like, what's the goal? She's proven herself time and time again.
Yeah, it's rough out here. This is kind of danging, but not super bad, and no other texts have occurred. But it reminded me of an event shortly after all this where she showed me something on her phone, and when she closed that app and she saw 5 Facebook notifications on her home screen, her finger instinctively went to swipe the Facebook icon. But then she quickly closed her phone. I was a little suspicious at the time, but now I wonder if they just moved their chats to Facebook Messenger instead of texts. By the way, you can move yourselves on down to your favorite podcast app where you can listen to more full episodes of stories just like this. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Just search up OK Storytime. We've got just a little bit left. Any final thoughts?
I'm so mad at OP.
Yeah. No, this dude stinks.
Dude.
He needs just a lot of help.
Yeah. Again, he's creating an issue.
Yeah.
And like, why can't you had a good summer with a lot of spicy sleep time with your wife? Things are happy. Things are good, right? Back to what he said. Get help. Go to therapy. What are you afraid of?
Insecure man. Leave your wife alone. She's
also
doing
like,
her best here.
Yeah.
It's also like, what else do you need her to do? And, you know, she even said.
She asked that.
Right. And I'm pretty sure the text you found, dude, was probably just work.
No, yeah. It was 3 texts, and she's like, and it was him saying something, her responding, and then him saying, like, thank you or whatever. And then he's like, she lied. That's pretty danging.
Such a good chance that was during work or shortly after. And it was just like, hey, did you do this today? And she was like, yeah, I like submitted. And he's like, hey, thanks so much. Have a nice night.
And she completely forgot about it and went home to you, the person that she loved.
She loves you. Insane. I don't think that's what's happening. It's just a suspicion, and a mild one at that. I truly think they had some near innocent, borderline inappropriate text going on, and she stopped because I didn't like it, and everything is fine. And I think she admitted telling me about that last text just to keep the peace. But it still sucks that she wasn't honest with me. I'm gonna sit tight for now and watch the cell logs for a couple months. Don't do that.
Watch the cell logs.
And if nothing else fishy comes up, I'll probably just let it all go. My biggest fear is that they resume texting in the future and I have to confront her. Hope that doesn't happen. That is the end of that story. My husband called me lazy after one day with our baby, so I took my ring off.
I quit.
My husband and I have been together for 9 years now. And yes, we are currently in marriage therapy and have been for roughly 7 months.
Tough.
Though, admittedly, I am considering canceling future sessions. We have a 2-year-old together and no other kids. Our relationship prior to our baby was a happy one.
Ooh.
Things felt stable, loving, and mutual before becoming parents.
Tough on that kid.
That version of our relationship feels very far away now. By the way, this comes from Possible Mall 1733. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments.
Please.
And OP says, when our child was around 2.5 weeks old, I was diagnosed with PPD.
Rough.
I honestly think I was struggling with being alone more than anything. We moved away from my mother when our baby was only a day old. He basically said, "Oh, I found us an apartment. We move in today," which was completely sprung on me with no discussion, as we'd been staying in my mom's basement apartment to save to buy a home. He only took 2 days off work, so the first couple of weeks of our child's life, I was isolated in an unfamiliar apartment, surrounded by boxes with a brand new baby. He left for work at 5 a.m. and often didn't come home until after 5 p.m., and I was terrified and irritable. Instead of seeing it for what it was, despite me literally telling him what was wrong, he decided he couldn't handle my anger. He started hanging out with his buddies outside our apartment complex for a few hours every single night. It was a very telling time in our relationship where he basically abandoned me. He loved our child and did everything when he was home, but the problem was that he was hardly ever home. Eventually, I turned ice cold, which is the only way I know how to put it. I stopped caring that he wasn't home and worked through my PPD essentially alone. Once I was better, he tried to smarten up, but the damage was already done. He suggested therapy, and I agreed. In essence, a lot felt better over time. I started feeling like I actually loved him again, and he started taking accountability for everything he did and did everything he could to make it up to me. Things were genuinely going well for a while. I felt hopeful again. That leads us to the current issue. I am technically a stay-at-home mom, but I also own an online shop and bring in around $900 a month. It's not much, but I only spend about 2 hours a day on my business, and the rest of my time is dedicated to our child. I buy all home necessities. He pays the bills, and for literal months, he told me he prefers this arrangement. He said even the little bit I bring in helps him tremendously, and that he enjoys how things are set up. I now realize he was lying. He picked a fight with me about a week ago. He had the day off. I told him I was leaving the baby with him while I went grocery shopping because our child is sick. He acted totally fine with it. By the time I got home, 2.5 hours later, he was livid. He was trying to play some game with his online buddies, and the baby was not having it, screaming into his microphone.
She's like, "Stop! I'm literally trying. I'm doing something. Stop!" And his buddies are like, "Dude, like your baby is such an op right now.
Oh, baby's totally giving away our position,
Yeah,
dude.
come on."
That's crazy. I calmed our child down, put away the groceries, and sat on the couch, then kind of chuckled and said, "I'm glad you get to see what I go through every day." He asked what I meant, and I explained that he tells me I take being a stay-at-home mom for granted, and that he would love to stay home. He completely snapped. He said the difference between me and him is that he actually works and never gets a break. That I don't want to work, and that if I did, I'd find a real job so he wouldn't have to work so much. I asked him when I ever get a break. This was literally the first time I had ever been away from our child. He said I get a break every time I nap with the baby, and made comments about laziness.
I don't like this guy.
Me neither. Our son hasn't taken a nap in nearly 3 months. And even when he did before, I stayed awake and I worked on my business. I do not nap. When I told him that, he immediately said it was a crock of crap. He was on his microphone the entire time, so all his friends heard everything. I didn't argue any further. I just took my ring off. After that, I stopped doing all his laundry. I stopped plating his dinner. I left his food in pots, pans, or Tupperwares with the rest of the leftovers. I no longer prepped the coffee pot to brew at 5 a.m., stopped sending update text, stopped sending daily pictures of our child, and stopped cleaning up after him. His plates are still on the counters, his dirty clothes are strewn around the house, and his desk has 4 dirty cups and snack wrappers. He's complained several times that the house is always effing trashed, which I ignore. Not all the mess is his, but about 90% of it is. I also stopped constantly putting away the baby's toys, so they're everywhere too. Yesterday, he came home while I was already in bed with our baby and didn't greet him. He picked up some of his garbage and came in to say we need to talk and that this is being pushed too far. He said he didn't mean what he said and was just stressed after dealing with a screaming baby for 2.5 hours straight.
Yeah, while you were playing your video games?
Right.
Not even dealing with the baby.
Dude, you had the baby for 2.5 hours.
You were ignoring the baby for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. But you guys can never ignore us because there's always going to be full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime.
Do it.
Wow.
Oh boy.
I just also hate the fact that now he needs to talk and it's like, oh, because I stopped doing everything for you.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I know. He's realized, oh, wait, you actually
She
do
did
a
a
lot around the
lot.
house. Ooh. Please do it again. I'm sorry. Please do it again.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah, nor do I.
I told him the damage was already done, especially considering he was a piece of crap for over a year and not even 7 months ago. He doesn't get to bounce back into being a piece of crap that quickly when everything from before is still etched so heavily in my mind. I told him I won't get over his comments and that I don't even know if I want to continue this marriage. He said what he said isn't enough to warrant a divorce and that he's sorry. I don't even want to look at him. Wow, that's the end.
Hey.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Big old yikes.
I mean, that's tough because it's like you've already tried marriage counseling.
Yeah, it hasn't worked. I feel like we're at a point where, honestly, separation might help. And maybe it's not quite divorce yet, but maybe it is, we need some space. Wow. I don't know. It's hard because you have a baby.
Yeah. Good luck, OP. My wife shared our honeymoon with another man, so I spoke up.
About divorcing?
Wife leaves me with her phone at breakfast this morning because a call from her mom is going to come through any second while she grabs some stuff from the breakfast buffet. By the way, this comes from Repulsive Syrup 8739. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, a push text notification from her male coworker comes through while I'm holding her phone. Him saying she was looking beautiful on our wedding day with a heart emoji and a big paragraph about how much he's enjoyed watching the lead up to our wedding and that she means a lot to him as a coworker. Curiosity gets the better of me, so I click the message, which opens the message thread.
Bad idea. It's just always a bad idea to go snoop through the phone.
Yeah. For the past week since we've been on our honeymoon, wife has texted this dude multiple times a day, updates on the honeymoon, meal photos every day, and one photo of her in the pool.
No.
Nothing in the snippet of messages I saw seems too spicy, but the communication is constant. Some of it did delve into emotional territory, how she's feeling about the wedding, her future plans, and fear around starting studying again. None of it mentioned us as a unit or me as an individual by name. Sometimes it seemed like she was fishing for a reason to contact him if he wasn't responding. Like, one of the messages was something like, this person at our hotel looks exactly like Pete from work, haha, which just seemed unnecessary. She also hasn't texted any of her close female friends or relatives and hasn't posted any holiday pictures she's taken publicly. She's just sent photos to this guy.
This is a little weird.
In fact, she's only texted this guy and called her mom and dad so far. In contrast, I've called my mom, dad, grandma, and texted my best friend once to let him know we got here all right, and I'll talk to him about the trip when we get back. Just wanting to focus on us for the next couple weeks. I've heard her mention this coworker somewhat more frequently leading up to the wedding now that I think about it, but didn't think much of it at the time. Just random insertions into conversations we were having. G has pants like that. G says you shouldn't chop the vegetables that way. That would irritate me.
Yeah. Be like,
why isn't G chopping your vegetables then?
Why isn't G here?
Just random little things. My wife isn't miserable in her job, so I don't think it's a camaraderie type thing. This guy is relatively new to her as a coworker, and she's had friends she's worked with for 5+ years at that place. I calmly told her I would appreciate if she would limit contact with that guy for the duration of our trip so we could focus on each other, as the frequency of contact made me a little uncomfortable. She was defensive initially, but eventually apologized, which I don't feel was necessary, and agreed to only communicate anything necessary about work with any coworker for the remainder of the trip.
Okay, that seems like a good conversation then.
Yeah. My Teams and email are set to away, do not even attempt to contact me unless it's life or passing, for comparison, and I love my team, LOL. Maybe her job didn't give her the same time. I can understand that. That was about 4 hours ago, and things seem to be going okay now, but I'm wondering if I screwed up by setting that boundary. Maybe I'm being overbearing or overly jealous. Or was it better to nip it in the bud when I did? I've read a lot about emotional affairs in this sub, and I thought that might be the direction this was headed in. So I decided to say something now, but maybe that was a mistake. Any advice, words of wisdom? Edit to add, my wife has been abundantly affectionate and happy with me the entire trip, and hadn't mentioned the coworker once until this came up.
The only thing I would say that you did wrong is read her text.
Yeah, part of me is like, yeah, that was wrong. The other part of me is like, it popped up. Like, that wasn't really on him that he saw the first message. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have scrolled back.
Yeah, I think that's like an invasion of privacy, and you should confess to that.
But if you I think press the initial text and immediately see a picture of your wife in the pool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you could say that, but I think you should confess. But I don't think that having the conversation is bad. I think that's great that you had it. And it seems like so far it solved the issue.
Yeah, I think you had to do it in that moment. Comments. Comment 1. What could her job possibly be that she can't take off for a honeymoon? You're in trouble. Comment 2. As a wife, I was very close to 2 male coworkers, both also married. And besides complaining about our jobs and sending memes that were work-related or sending each other job openings at other branches, the only thing we would talk about were their spouses and kids and my husband and the baby on the way. And it was all good things. This throws up red flags everywhere.
Well, this coworker could not be interested in women. There's
a chance of that. I still think this reads wildly inappropriate.
I still think it's really like I don't think it's appropriate to be texting while you're on your honeymoon to just like one person. I do think there is a possibility that there is no romantic thing here. There's also a huge possibility that there is, but
I'm worried. It seems as though they are having an emotional relationship if it hasn't already become physical. Comment 3. I would be very cautious if I'm you. You didn't nip it in the bud. They are still going to see each other frequently after your honeymoon.
God, they're just sending OP into a spiral with these comments.
I think you kind of need to spiral a little. But Comment 4. This seems to be at the level of an emotional affair due to how much they're reaching out to each other and sharing. They haven't crossed the line yet, so that they can both lie to themselves that they aren't doing anything wrong. I mean, even if there's nothing specifically inappropriate, the constantly texting another man on her honeymoon, sending him pics, and reaching out to him again when he doesn't respond tells you all that you need to know. Especially since he's the only one apparently important enough for her to message during her dang honeymoon. I mean, she hasn't even texted her female friends. Come on. Comment 5. Her relationship with coworker is over the line. They're too emotionally connected, and it's going to be an issue for your relationship going forward unless she acknowledges that what she's doing is not right. If you glaze over it too much, she'll just keep doing it, and this will build to a place that's an emotional affair. I can almost guarantee you that guy likes your wife as more than a friend, and she's just enjoying the attention, and he's just playing the long game because she hasn't been explicitly interested. But I think you guys would be interested in listening to more episodes with stories just like this, so you should go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime and listen to more.
Please.
There's a couple more comments, it seems, but
I think this could go either way, but I think also it could be nothing.
I think this is something. I don't see a world where I would ever send a picture of myself in a bathing suit in a pool to a male coworker.
Which I agree. That's why I'm thinking like
even if he wasn't interested in women, I would not be sending pictures to my coworkers of me in a bathing suit in a pool that I am not also sending to my best friends, to my parents,
for sure.
to other people.
I think there is a world where this woman, not that I would do this, but I think there is a world in, like that Like all of these things have to line up. That's the thing. It's like all of these like specific scenarios have to line up to make it okay.
Storm.
Yeah. If this person is into women and you sent them a picture of yourself in a bathing suit, weird. A little weird.
I just think overall that's weird to do to any coworker. Like, no chance am I ever being like,
I don't know. I have different
here's a
relationships
picture
with
of
my
me
coworkers.
and my. Well, yeah, but you work here. Like
Yeah.
at any other job that you've
Yeah.
ever had, would you ever send a coworker a picture in a pool?
It depends, because like sometimes you like become like really close to your
I
coworkers. and
still
stuff.
would never send
But-
them pictures of me in the pool. I don't even
And
think
it
I would
depends.
show a picture of me in a pool.
It depends on how close I was to this coworker and like a ton of other factors. In this case, no, I would not do that.
Comment 6. Put a clear stop to that. Unless you think your wife is a perfect human being who never makes mistakes and can read everyone's intentions perfectly, this will lead to disaster. Why? First, because it makes you uncomfortable. Second, because most cheating stories start with a really good friend, coworker, or acquaintance who, 10 years down the line, turns out to be the father of your amazing son.
Oh boy.
Jeez. Third, because it's your honeymoon. If that guy is so entertaining that she can't focus on her honeymoon during her honeymoon, oh boy, you don't want to know what will happen down the line. Go back and read my second point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe wife just doesn't realize. Maybe
Yeah.
it's like she was actually being innocent with it, but it's the fact that she's not taking the accountability to be like,
Yeah.
you're so right, that is crossing a line. I get it. I understand. I'll stop doing that. It's just like, oh yeah, like I'll stop for this trip, but it's like there's still a weird
Yeah.
question there of like what's going on.
I just really want her to be not.
I mean, I
lying.
always want them to not be being little weird
That's all I want.
cheater people,
Yeah. I'm just hopeful.
My girlfriend cheated on me, just not in the usual way.
What does that mean?
If your girlfriend has a usual way of cheating on you, I, 20 male, and my girlfriend, 20 female, have been together since our junior year of high school, so 4 years now. She is the absolute love of my life, and I wake up every day with her on my mind. If the sun is out, I am positive it's because she smiled.
Aw, this is gonna turn so bad.
Her bad days are my bad days, and I swear I would do anything this woman tells me to do. I cannot wait to marry her once we are done with uni, but recently there's been a weird problem. By the way, this comes from user throwaway676769. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Vincent back here with Keon.
And we're here to give you advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers because we don't know them. We only know what we know. We just want to know what you know, so tell us.
We really do.
I don't know how else to describe it other than she will not get off her phone. And she is really weird about letting me see it. I don't want to say she's cheating, mostly because I think that would send me to my grave at an early age, but it has been very anxiety-inducing. I respect her privacy, and we have never even been the go-through phones couple. Trust is a big thing in our relationship, and that is what makes us work so well. How open and honest we are with each other. This has been going on since the middle of December, or maybe that is just when I started noticing. We live in an apartment near campus together, so we are with each other almost all the time, and I can rule out her bringing other guys over. We major in 2 different things. I do graphic engineering, while she does psychology, so we hardly run into one another on campus. Not to brag, but our spacious sleep life is absolutely amazing. I would say I'm a pretty vanilla guy, but this girl is a freak. I'm gonna skip over this part. I cannot narrow it down to a friend either, because all her friends are fellow women or attracted to the same gender dudes. She does have this one friend who is a straight guy, and we will call him John. Her and John have been friends longer than we've been together since they were in middle school. They occasionally hang out with just each other, but that does not bother me because I genuinely think he sees her as a little sister. Through her, John and I have become amazing friends. I mean, the guy is as handsome as prime Leonardo DiCaprio. He can get all the ladies just from one look. He is tall, and he has a radio deep voice.
I mean, the guy's a baddie.
John and I are bros. We hang out, honestly, maybe more without her than with her. We play games together. I have introduced him to my friends and my parents, and he comes over to the apartment at least once a week for my sake. I joke with my girlfriend all the time that if John was a girl, she would have some real deal competition because he's my soulmate.
I'm so happy for you for discovering this new thing about yourself. So happy for you for coming out of the closet. Can't wait to see you at the parade. That's like classic There was one time where I was on a plane and there were like a bunch of like high schoolers from some sort of like, they were going to somewhere for like a music competition or something like that.
Yeah.
And like ahead of me, I just am seeing two girls and talking with a guy, and they're like trying to mess with him and like probably flirting and stuff. And one of them is just like, oh my God, like you must be so lucky that you get to like date girls. Like girls are so much prettier than guys. And I was like, I see the future. I can tell the future. I can see what's going to happen in a year or two.
Clocked that one. Yeah, let's go. With all that being said, I do not understand how any of this can tie down to her excessive phone usage. I've asked her what she's giggling or smiling at when she's typing away, and she gives me the usual nothing or you wouldn't get it, and I just brush it off. She has always been on the higher screen time end of things since we were in high school, but it has been really bothering me recently and putting that weird feeling in my stomach. I need help figuring out how to approach the situation. Do I get all silly and go through her phone? Do I sit down and talk with her? Do I just Dougie it off and ignore it for the sake of my relationship with this personified gumdrop? She is literally typing away on her phone right now as I lay at the foot of the bed on my iPad typing this. I do not know what to do, hence why I am here. Help! On my original post, someone told me not to go through her phone. But this morning when she was in the shower, her phone was there and I was there too.
Uh-oh.
Eventually, curiosity won over.
Uh-oh. How did that happen?
Safe to say, my girlfriend is not cheating, from what I have seen. Call logs, messages, and Instagram were clean, but there is another issue that I have no idea how to go about. I was looking through her apps, and there was one that was hidden on her phone called Character AI.
No.
Bro, we're starting to get stories now where people are cheating on their partner with a stupid AI chatbot.
Yeah. This isn't the first one that we've gotten.
It's not.
And it's not the last.
It probably won't be.
Oh my gosh. No. Not AI. What character is it? That's what I need to know.
This is truly new territory.
I really need to know if this is like one of the Hear Me Out video game characters.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
First of all, my girlfriend protests loudly about how she hates generative AI, so seeing this led me to curiosity. I clicked on it. I needed to enter her phone password to do so, and she talked to multiple bots, mostly different Choso bots from JJK, because he is her anime crush.
Oh.
But then there was this one. Remember our buddy John from my last post? The one I was certain she had no feelings for? It's safe to say she has none for him, but she created a chatbot of him. I clicked on it out of curiosity, and oh my God, she made some kind of persona of me and has been role-playing me and John being together since September.
That is so not where I thought that was going. Oh my God. She saw the love that John and OP have together and the physical attraction that they have together.
Uh-huh. She
And
did
the
a
gay.
heated rivalry with them.
She sure did.
Wait,
But she wants that to happen.
I don't think... Has anyone ever cheated on anyone like this? Is this a world first? Are we breaking new ground?
Maybe.
Is this even cheating? I'm not sure now.
know.
And now I don't even know what it is.
She's basically got like a AI fanfic of OP and his friend getting together. What do you do in that situation?
I think it's possible everyone wins here. I think it's possible everyone wins, and OP, you get to do the thing that you might want to do.
Right, just like explore that side.
You're
You
like,
know what?
if John was a lady, I'd hook up with him. Well, guess what? He's not, and you still can.
I need to know how much of this OP read and what OP was feeling when he read it. Because if he was thinking that John's an attractive guy, and oh boy, if he was a girl, he'd go crazy. And now he's getting a real example of what that would look like. I feel like this might be exciting for him. I feel like this might be the moment that he figures out his feelings for John.
He's like, oh, you should take a longer shower. You really stink. You've been really stinky.
Yeah.
It's been going on September, according to the chat history. Her latest update was literally last night, so I guess she has been more into it now. The look of shock on my face when I scrolled up in these messages, and it is just long, lengthy, detailed paragraphs of John and I having spicy sleep. The shocker of it all is that I am the bottom. I have been astonished since this morning. I do not know how to feel. Neither do I, dude. I am not angry at her, but more so confused. She is writing out fantasies of me and my buddy sleeping together without either of us knowing. And why am I the bottom? I think I'm very much a top, if anything. How do I address the situation? She's already going to feel some kind of way about me going through her phone without asking, but to see something I'm pretty sure she wanted no one to see, as it was hidden. How do I approach it? I mean, if your girl is having fantasies about her best friend and boyfriend in different positions, what would one even say? I mean, hey, it is better than being cheated on, but now I'm just floored. Help! And we have an update.
I think, first off, you need to sit with yourself, reflect, process, see how you feel about this first. If this feels like a weird thing, deal breaker, then honestly, it's like chill that you went through her phone because it's like, whatever, it's too late. You're already going to be broken up. You know what I mean? But if you're feeling a little confused about the new things that you're feeling and new experiences that you're experiencing, maybe we just ask her like, hey, is there any like fantasy you've been like wanting to try or anything like that? Like, maybe you can make it happen, OP.
I think you should just, because look, you're 20, whatever, it's confusing. Clearly, from the way that you've written this, you are kind of into guys, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I don't want to write your truth for you, and I'm being flippant because I don't know you, and I read 100,000 of these stories every month.
Right.
But you should give her a fastball straight down the middle and say, I think I might like guys.
Yeah.
And just see what she does. Update. I know nobody probably cares since this got written off as a fatouche post, which I honestly don't blame y'all for, I guess. If you have a girlfriend who likes BL. If you have a girlfriend who likes beep, it would be easier to understand, I suppose. Anyways. No, I did not break up with my girlfriend because of something this stupid, and she did not break up with me. The whole talk was actually super funny. She came home at like 8:30ish. We ordered Jacques Beige for dinner, and we were just talking. I kind of slid it in by telling her I had something to confess and told her I went through her phone that morning. Obviously, she was a little rubbed. But then I told her what I saw by saying, so if AI is so bad, why character AI to keep the mood light? She kind of froze a little bit, but I told her I was not mad, just confused. Like I told you guys. The answer of the year is that she said we give her cuteness aggression when we are together, and she got the chatbot idea from an Instagram reel she saw. So thanks, Instagram Reels. You turned my girlfriend into an evil yaoi genius. For some reason, she was more worried about me reading her chats with Choso.
Oh.
We just talked, and she did open up about wanting to be in my butt.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
She brought up about wanting to enter through the rear.
Ooh.
Which I gave a sharp heck nah to. And that made her laugh. Moving right along. She told me not to go through her phone again without asking, and I agreed and apologized. She kissed my cheek and forgave me. Hee hee. Now, I did ask the question of the year. Why was I the bottom?
Yes, get into the real important stuff.
She said, it's because I'm better looking. So, hey man, I'll take it. She also said it's because I'm sassy. Sure. We both agreed to not tell John because that would be weird. And yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it would be very weird. Don't do that. But she's like, I had you as the bottom because you're... I had you as the bottom because I want to be John in that situation. And in this situation, we're... And I'm the top. You're the bottom. I'm John. You're...
Yeah. Why'd I make you the bottom? Because you're just so pretty, babe.
You're just so pretty.
You're just such a pretty...
Got a nice little
pretty
rear.
boy.
Also, this seems a little bit more than cuteness aggression.
Yeah, that seemed
This
like a
is-
nonsense answer.
This is not
That seemed like a
cuteness
deflect.
aggression.
Deflect.
This is just horn dog feelings.
Mm-hmm.
This is all kinds of... This is not cute.
How would we even tell him? Frankly, I kind of don't care if she continues with the chatbots as long as it keeps her far, far away from diddling my butt. So that's my dumb thread. No, we didn't argue and unalive each other, and I did not pack my bags and leave. We just laughed it off. And by the way, you can laugh your way on over to more full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and get to giggling.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Giggling and no diddling.
Let's finish this story. I showed her the thread as well, and her only comment was, how dare they tell you to break up with the queen?
Oh.
Followed by Pose 28 from Dress to Impress. To the commenter who said something about heated rivalry, I have personal beef with them now.
That's you. That's you.
She's in the back of my ear telling me I need to watch it, and I just do not get it. I do not want to see two boys diddle each other, man. Now she's in the shower, and we're going to cuddle with our kitty Miso and watch Gachiakuta. I'm going to poke my head at her until I get my head rubbed to sleep. So that is my final update. Thanks, everyone. Even if you kind of hate my guts. No, dude, I love you. Man, this Reddit crap gets serious. And once more, for the people telling me to break up with her. La 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 la, I can't hear you. Bottom. Now, imagine the Kanye meme where he's covering his ears. Okay, bye.
And if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.